Do you hear the people sing, singing the song of angry men? It is the music of a people who will not be slaves again. When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drums, there is a life about to start when tomorrow comes. Will you join in our crusade? Who will be strong and stand with me? Beyond the barricade, is there a world you long to see? Then join in the fight that will give you the right to be free. Do you hear the people sing, singing the song of angry men? It is the music of a people who will not be slaves again. When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drums, there is a life about to start when tomorrow comes. Will you give all you can give so that our banner may advance? Some will fall and some will live. Will you stand up and take your chance? The blood of the martyrs will water the meadows of France. Do you hear the people sing, singing the song of angry men? It is the music of a people who will not be slaves again. When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drums, there is a life about to start when tomorrow comes. Like puppets on strings, they dance for a king when he tells them to raid private homes. No person is safe from their self-righteous hate as they occupy cities and towns. Oh, state thugs circle round, just waiting to pound a dissident into the ground. When the people protest, they kneel on their necks and shoot them with gas cans and hard rubber rounds. Oh, but all the king's orders and all the king's soldiers won't break the people's resolve. Oh, the fascist invaders in the streets of LA will find them still standing tall. Oh, but all the king's orders and all the king's soldiers won't break the people's resolve. Oh, the fascist invaders can try as they may, but the people are still standing tall. So send your Marines and your war-made machines, they'll greet them with strength and a song. You can tear down their signs and shatter their lines, but the people will rally and still they march on. Oh, but all the king's orders and all the king's soldiers won't break the people's resolve. Oh, the fascist invaders in the streets of LA will find them still standing tall. Oh, but all the king's orders and all the king's soldiers won't break the people's resolve. Oh, the fascist invaders can try as they may, but the people are still standing tall.
Hello, everyone. Hello. You love my outfit? It's just a waffle shirt that you can tie up, and then Imogene Olivia lingerie underneath it. Gotta rep the brand. Hello, everyone. Hello, Irish Witch Hazel. Hello, Salty Turtle Cupcake. See you on the website, Shimps? Hell yeah, Shimps together strong, especially on the website. Hello, Kiva in the fur. Hello, Paladin Lost. Yes, it is some rough content, but honestly, I didn't lose my faith in humanity. I'll put it that way. I watched about 20 minutes of it, and I was just like, God damn, Mehdi Hasan is good. Hello, the blank path or artist. Hello, Yannick Denuborg. Hello, Walking Neon Carpet. Hello, Charles. Sunday stream? I mean, technically it's a Monday stream. Hello, Superjet Guy. Giga Chad got kicked out of Trump rally holding a Trump Epstein photo. Holy fuck. Oh, man. Also, man, the details coming out. I don't know. I don't know that Donald Trump is going to be able to get back his base. I don't think they're going to be super keen. And I'm going to keep on talking about this Epstein stuff until I'm blue in the face because, frankly, it does represent an incredible wedge we could use to drive his base away. You know? Trump X Epstein shipping a thing now? I mean, it's not really. Is it really shipping if they are an item? Let's see. Hello, Firecrafted Gaming. Fashion City Metaverse, if you're here to rep fashion. I got bad news about what the fash in the title means. I got real bad news about that one. It's a very different type of fash. Yeah, Leslie Muncie, thank you very much for being the first to click the butt on YouTube. Appreciate it. Hello, Depraved Ambiance. Hello. How we all doing, folks? I refuse to give Jubilee the views. That's, I think that's fair. And I know I'm breaking my sacred vow in front of all of you to not cover any Jubilee content. But to be fair, I really only subject you guys to the Jubilee content of progressive leftists kicking ass. So, I think I think maybe that exception is okay. Hello, Nightlight Plushy Jesus. Hello, Uncle Gumbald. We will never forego Biden and Trump professing their love for each other, singing in Mandarin. Also, is it okay? I know that there are a few more legal-minded folks in the audience. Is it true that Donald Trump is representing himself in his lawsuit against Murdoch? Is that true? I heard that he had filed his lawsuit pro se, and I don't know what that means, but I'm told by lawyer folks that that might indicate he's representing himself. Because if so, that's really fucking funny. That Jobertus Maximus guy is super smart and very handsome. I bet. Also, I can't. I mean, I can arm curl, but you're not really. I don't have any of my things because I'm in the middle of moving. Is he self-representing? Genuinely don't know. Also, the lawsuit is for $10 billion. We'll cover it in the next dedicated Epstein segment. I haven't researched up on that one yet, but it's fucking funny is what it is. I'm sure if it goes to court, he'll find some sort of legal team. Oh, but like, it's definitely gonna go to court. Unless he drops it, who knows? It's pro se, but Trump can file a change of counsel later. Okay. Holy fuck, that would be funny. I would give so much. I would give so much to see that man in a courtroom trying to represent himself. I wanna see Donald Trump try and pull a sovereign citizen defense. I want it so badly. He walks in a tricorn hat. All right. Who is Mehdi Hasan? Mehdi Hasan used to have a show on MSNBC, and then he got fired essentially because he was talking about Gaza too much. Now, well, here, I'll redo it here. All right. So there's this guy named Mehdi Hasan. All right. He had a show on MSNBC. He got fired for talking about Gaza too much, as being, a pit of genocidal violence being perpetrated by Israel and the Israeli state. And so he went and founded a new media company called Zateo. He's basically known for being, I don't even know if we can call him like the best, like maybe like the best American based journalist. Like he's based in America, but he's from the UK, and he actually gives real interviews where he comes with receipts, he backs up his claims, and when he goes toe to toe with people, it's genuinely beautiful. I appreciate it. He also wrote a book on how to debate. So, yes, I'm not saying he's not a U.S. citizen, Nightlight Plushy Jesus. I'm just saying, like, he's originally from the UK, came here, became a naturalized U.S. citizen. Like, yeah. Just saying, he lives in America right now. Let's see. Glad the MAGA feel safe enough to admit who they are now. It will make violent resistance against them much easier for real Americans. I mean, hopefully it won't get to that point. Journalist versus 19 Nazis and one Mexican American who got lost. I haven't seen this, so I have absolutely no idea what you mean. Let's not forget about the pro-trans powerhouse, Chris Hayes. I mean, Chris Hayes is great. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't necessarily say that Chris Hayes is on the same level as Mehdi Hasan when it comes to, like, throwing fisticuffs in the marketplace of ideas. Super late stream tonight? Absolutely. Hope everything's all right. I mean, the main thing was that I didn't get a good stream on Friday. Did I cover Ken Klippenstein getting sued by Trump? Not yet. I don't know. I think Mehdi Hasan, since leaving MSNBC, has been a little bit more pugilistic towards the Dems, and rightly so. All right. But let's just dive in here, shall we? I've watched about 20 minutes of this, and when I say that this is Mehdi Hasan surrounded by essentially fascists, and really, I think he does a pretty good job, just from what I saw, of really showing just how empty their rhetoric and ideology is, how it is mostly bluster and misdirection to compensate for the fact that they don't know shit about shit. It's honestly really impressive. So let's take a look, shall we?
My family lineage is settlers from the 1500s.
Colonialists.
Yeah,
You
colonials.
don't look
yeah.
very Native American to me.
I am Native American. Whites
not.
are Native Americans. What are
Sorry.
you talking about?
Yeah, this is about the this is the general quality of what we're gonna get. This is the general quality of the discourse here. It's literally take the dumbest person you know and make them dumber.
You're not.
What are you talking about?
You're a little bit more than a far-right Republican.
Hey, what can I say?
I think you could say I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am.
Listen to me. I am an immigrant. I'm speaking from personal
Get
experience.
the hell out.
Yeah, it's these people are like devoid of light behind their eyes.
I don't even like... I should get the hell out.
Yes.
Why?
I don't want you here.
I'm Mehdi Hasan. I'm a journalist. I'm the editor of Zeteo. And today I'm surrounded by 20 far-right conservatives.
Now, I do want to really emphasize here that I really despise Jubilee. I really think that what they do mostly is carry water for conservative ideas. And I think the issue here, or what they were trying to do here, I think was try to find someone to make Mehdi Hasan look bad. Essentially, to validate the fascist ideas, make Mehdi Hasan look bad. And I think that, like, ultimately, their goal isn't necessarily as insidious as, oh, they want the fascists to win. It's just that they want the views, they want the money. That's what they want, right? And they have a bunch of flowery language in, like, interviews with the people who produced Jubilee about how, you know, this is truth, you know, this is truth in the public eye, and it's just not that. But I do think that there is something valuable in the rhetorical exercise of revealing how empty fascists are. And because I think that there is, and, you know, I know that a lot of people on the internet dunk on debate bros these days. And a lot of, like, the debate bros have just kind of, like, dissipated, for lack of a better word. Largely because debate content just, it doesn't hit if people don't have skin in the game. You know, now like, some of the biggest debate content is, like, I don't know, Ronald Reagan debating Jesus, AI chatbots against each other. And, like, that's, like, that does weird numbers. But debate is a skill, and it is a different kind of skill from presenting information in an engaging way. You know, it takes a different kind of rhetoric. And I think that honestly, I think that honestly, in a situation like this, these people are honest to God fascists. You know, these people are honestly portraying their positions. And Mehdi Hasan is honestly portraying his positions. And I think that there is value in seeing these ideas butt heads and seeing, like, Mehdi Hasan, a liberal, progressive liberal, like, demonstrate the utility or lack thereof of their fascism, you know? I think that that is good. And I think that making these people look stupid in the eyes of potentially millions of people is good. I think that, like, there is a time and a place for debate as a skill. And honestly, I think that, you know, the idea of, like, oh, we shouldn't platform fascists. I think that that's kind of like a for the before times. Like, our government is captured right now by fascists, and I think that we need to directly engage with that fact by exposing these people for the dipshits and losers and pathetic cowards that they are. So, with that being said, let's jump in here.
My first claim is Donald Trump is pro-crime and pro-criminal. welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Mehdi.
I would just like to ask, what makes someone pro-crime versus, anti-crime?
I'm already fascinated by this guy. I'm sorry.
I would just like to ask,
This young man has 2 pierced ears. And like I just want to like really point out, I know it's not like super relevant, but like the aesthetics, especially when we're talking about like fascists, the aesthetics are like all they got. So I'm very curious here. Like how do I put this? I think these people lack awareness of themselves, and they lack awareness of the situation that they're getting into, and I think they lack awareness of a lot of things in general. Because at heart they're all anti-intellectuals. You know, they don't believe in like empirical thought or reasoning. But what's interesting to me is that in some of these circles, right, where these fascists run, there is a desire to still break down, oh, you're one of the lefty fascists. You're one of the, more progressive fascists. And in a circle like that, having your ears pierced could genuinely be like a mark of like, oh yeah, I'm one of the reasonable fascists because I'm okay with the gays. It's a small thing, and it might not even apply to this guy, but there is almost like, especially on shows like this, an attempt to mirror like progressive aesthetics, and I don't know. It gets a little bit messy, but let's just keep going. I thought it was interesting to observe that.
What makes someone pro-crime versus, anti-crime?
I think when you're soft on criminals, when you let criminals out of prison, when you pardon people who've assaulted police officers, you're pro-criminal. Donald Trump pardoned almost 1,600 people who were involved in January the 6th. I think 600 of them had been charged with assaulting a police officer or obstructing a police officer. 170 had pled guilty to assaulting a police officer. 70 had pled guilty to assault with a deadly weapon. J.D. Vance said, we're not going to pardon the violent criminals from January 6th. Donald Trump pardoned all of them. Are you okay with that?
I would say January 6th is a very special case. I would say it's almost a climax point in history. I would just phrase the question this way. Right now in the LA protests, if they were to, just for example, they were to rush the capital of LA.
For example, in the LA protests that are happening right now. Now imagine they did something that they aren't doing. But imagine if they did that. I think that would be roughly the same as when a bunch of militia groups convened and attempted to overthrow the government while chanting to hang the vice president of the United States. I think that's it's exactly the same. It's practically a 1-to-1 ratio of sameness.
I mean, they'd have to move over all the homeless people living in tents on the steps of the Capitol. But if they were managed to get into the Capitol and they were just protesting, peacefully, let's say police officers were rushing them in. They were letting them in and saying, hey, you guys can go in, like we have many testimonies that say.
What about the violent ones, though?
Okay, violent ones like
what? Like a man named David Dempsey, a judge, a Reagan-appointed judge.
By the way, the only way you can make the argument that he's making is if you haven't seen the footage from January 6th. And I've seen so much of that footage, and to argue like, oh yeah, they were all just being ushered inside and were being totally fine, like, no, they weren't. That absolutely was not what was happening. There's literally, you can watch footage of the entire thing unfold. That didn't happen.
sentenced him to 20 years in prison. He stomped on police officers' heads. The judge said his conduct was exceptionally egregious. He attacked police officers with flagpoles and pepper spray. Donald Trump pardoned him. There's a man named Daniel Rodriguez. He got 12 years in prison for taking a stun gun and tasing a police officer in the neck and giving him a heart attack. The judge said he was a one-man army of hate. Donald Trump pardoned him. Does that not make Trump pro-criminal?
Didn't, like, one of the guys who was pardoned by Donald Trump, like, there was a story about him like a month ago. One of these guys like went back to prison, was convicted of like threatening children, and like some of these people were genuinely already unhinged, and like a lot of them are going back to prison for, you know, that unhingedness.
He's letting violent criminals out of prison.
I would say no, it doesn't make him pro-criminal.
You're okay with that?
I did not say that. I said that one pardon against somebody.
It was 1,600 pardons. 600 of those were people charged
one
with...
example that you just gave me.
I can give you more. Should I keep going?
Fine.
Shane
And I'll say the exact same thing every single
then
time.
your argument will fall apart, because it's not just one example if I keep going.
Go for it then.
I see, this is what I like. This is what I really like. Like, Mehdi Hasan did his homework, and he knows, like, the names of individual people pardoned on January 6th. Like, that's some next-level preparation. He does a really good job at these types of encounters. Would I have supported a January 6th? I'm unsure what you're asking, Andreas. So, if the election was stolen claims were true, which they weren't, and the person who was cheated against was a progressive, would you have supported a January 6th? I would have supported an official recount. I would have supported, like, you know, the normal mechanisms to ascertain whether or not, like, the election was legit. There are mechanisms in our government to do that. But anyway.
Okay, Shane Jenkins got 7 years in prison for 9 criminal offenses, attacking police with a deadly weapon, destroying government property.
How do
Trump pardoned
pardons
him.
that probably shouldn't have happened turn into pro-crime?
So you've agreed that they shouldn't have been pardoned?
Sure, but that wasn't your claim, was January 6th. Your claim was Trump is pro-crime.
Yeah, because he pardons criminals.
Okay, I
He
would say
pardoned
that's...
not
Oh, yeah, no, this is just from, like, 4 days ago. California man pardoned for Jan 6th riot, convicted of receiving child porn. Like, it's genuinely, like, nonstop there are stories about this coming out of, like, dudes that went to January 6th somehow getting convicted on other charges. It's crazy.
Well,
Let's talk about non-January 6 people.
Okay.
He's pardoned people like Paul Walchuk recently, who took millions of dollars from his own employees, was sentenced to tax crimes, had to pay back $4 million. Trump pardoned him. He bought himself a $2 million yacht. Why is he pardoning criminals like that?
well, I don't know. I don't think you should...
Well, I don't know. I don't know why he's pardoning hundreds, if not thousands, of criminals. But all I know is it must be because they were all doing nothing wrong, nothing wrong whatsoever. And I actually haven't ever stopped and thought about that, or considered how this totally undermines all my claims about caring about caring about this whole thing that we're doing here, this fascism that we're doing. Oh dear. All right. Anyway,
I don't think really presidential pardon should be a thing at all, but I
agree.
I don't think that
All right, pause.
that means something.
You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Thanks.
God, it's so dumb.
How's it going?
Wait, who's the guy in the hat? My man, did they find, like, the one and only, like, Amish conservative on Rumspringa? Like, what, like, holy shit, what happened here? I'm not mad. I'm just okay, all right. Can't Sir Reddit, the knighted incarnation of Reddit. First name my, last name lady, milady.
How's it going?
Hey, how's it going? Mehdi.
What is it?
Mehdi.
You're from northern UK, I guess?
I'm from London, North London.
Okay, fair enough. What's your ethnic background, if you don't mind my asking?
Jesus Christ. I see you're brown. What's your ethnicity? What? I see your skin is darker than mine. Would you mind if I broke out the calipers? I have my own specialized pair. They're engraved. I would love to take some skull measurements.
Parents are from India.
Okay, perfect. Just getting premise here. First of all, I want to say
premise-
Just getting premised on your ethnic background. Jesus Christ.
Of Donald Trump being pro-crime.
No. I want to concern myself with why you care about what's happening in the U.S., first and foremost. Secondly, I want to say this. The argument,
Oh, hey. Hey, wait a minute. I
why you
recognize
care
that
about what's
lady.
happening in the U.S., first and foremost. Secondly,
That's the lady who was talking with Sam Cedar. The lady who was saying, why shouldn't one be xenophobic? And then it was revealed that she is Canadian. And it's just kind of like, why you came all the way to America to be xenophobic on behalf of Canada? What the fuck are you doing? I can't imagine anything more embarrassing than like trying to outsource your like virulent bigotry in other countries, you know? Like, damn. The trad wife, Riverboat Jack, yeah. It's true.
I want to say this. The argument,
US
like,
Oh, she does work for Elijah Schaffer. I remember going down that rabbit hole. Yeah, she works for... Guys, she works for the guy who doesn't think nuclear weapons are real. He thinks that all of the nukes have been faked by the Jews, and I'm not even joking. Well, at this point, we have like 3 different videos on Elijah Schaffer talking about nukes being fake. It's really crazy. When I say that these people are fascists, they're like fascists. Like they're like the kind of like Nazi fucks that were talking about how it was good that Einstein wasn't in like the Reich anymore because of his evil Jew magic. Like, so he's a schizo? No, he's like Elijah Schaffer is just a fascist. They're all like that. Their brains are broken. Is he the one who thinks dinosaurs are made up? I don't know if he thinks what he thinks about dinosaurs, Velvet, but I wouldn't put it past him. A lot of these people are also like young Earth creationists, and so they don't think like geology is real or like they disbelieve in the vast majority of sciences.
Should people who live in the
let me
US
finish.
not care about?
Let's not interrupt each other. Because I have this thing, like people know I have this thing. I have to stay calm, okay? So
Okay.
I had to stop this when I was watching this pre-stream, and I just have to ask, like, that sounds like you like when you get angry, you like kill things and or people. You know, like that sounds like you can't be trusted with like a dog because you've snapped too many necks. Like that seems really gross and weird. Like I wouldn't trust this man around children or pets or small woodland creatures. Like at a certain point, like the fascism rots your brain and prevents you from even attempting to be a decent human being.
here's the thing. I am happy that he released J6. In fact, so much so that I was prepared to protest if he didn't.
Okay.
So when you say, are you okay that he's pro-crime? Sure, because you know what? We're changing the definition of what crime is, first and
You
foremost.
don't think stomping on police officers' heads is a crime?
I don't think it's...
See, this is what I mean. This is what I mean when I talk about, like, Mehdi Hasan just being so fucking good rhetorically. He's so good at it, Chad. When he's like, well, the left is changing the definition of what a crime is in order to call January 6ers criminals. Like, and Mehdi Hasan's just like, you don't think it's a crime to stomp on the head of a police officer? They can't answer that question. Just watch him like utterly implode.
It's no longer a relevant conversation anymore. You're
Really?
arguing. No, it's not, because you know what? Okay, have you seen the U.S. in the last 4 or 5?
When someone's like, do you not think it's a crime to stomp on a police officer's head? And the go-to response is, have you seen how the U.S. in the last 4 or 5 years? Like, that's nuts, dog. That is nuts. That's straight up, like, disconnected from reality. Like, strangers are looking at you ranting and raving on the street. Like, dog. What I think is good about this is that any reasonable person here would look at these people as representing, like, conservatism and say, oh, yeah, we need to do something about this. I think that stuff like this has the potential to radicalize people to action.
5 years?
Yes, I've
BLM
lived
protests,
there for a
have you
while.
seen? Okay, I myself have been involved in these protests. I've seen egregious things that you couldn't even imagine.
So we
Being-
haven't
Oh yeah. And Sage, you are 100% correct here. When we're covering this, like, the people going into this show are debating not to have their minds changed. They're debating as a rhetorical exercise, and you know, as a statement. You know, you want your ideology to come out looking better. You want their ideology to come out looking worse. And genuinely, I think that Mehdi Hasan succeeds on both accounts, just from what little of this I've seen so far. But yeah, no one in this video is under the pretense that they're going to change anybody else's mind that they're talking to anyway.
to conservatives. It's not about that. It's about tribal warfare.
Okay.
That's where we're at in the U.S. I don't know where you're at in the UK. You're from India, so I don't really.
I'm not from India.
Oh, sorry, your parents are from India, so.
Oh, you're from India. My parents are from India. Where are this man's parents from? The cave where Smeagol hid the ring for thousands of aeons?
I'm an American
You have
citizen.
your own stakes.
I'm an American, you know.
You're an American citizen? Okay,
Yes.
fair enough. I don't know how
Yes.
you got that, but fair enough. Here's the thing.
Are you an American citizen?
Absolutely.
I don't know how you got that. Jesus Christ.
But here's the
Not
thing.
sure how you got that, but okay.
Born here.
Okay.
Born here, and my family lineage is settlers from the 1500s, so I have some stake in the
Okay.
claim here, okay?
But you're
a little different
But you're
than
a
yours.
descendant of immigrants, settlers,
I didn't know.
colonialists.
Yeah,
You don't
colonials.
look, you don't
yeah.
look very Native American to me.
I am Native American. Whites
not.
are Native Americans. What are
Sorry,
you talking about?
you're not.
What are you talking about?
The fact that he gets applause for that is honestly insane to me. Like, understand that in the fascist mind, this guy thinks he's winning. And those fascists think that they're winning. Right? Yeah, white people are Native Americans, bro. It's the dumbest take. Like, also, just props to Mehdi Hasan for his composure, because, like, this is the nicest face you can make to someone who just said one of the dumbest things you've ever heard in your life. This is the pitying smile of a man going, "Oh, you're an absolute baby-brained moron. Oh, how did you even put your pants on today?"
whites are Native Americans.
Really?
I think
What was happening before the 1500s?
I think you're getting confused with it.
I don't mind going on a tangent. But what was happening before the 1500s?
Calm down. I think you're getting.
What was happening before the 1500s?
There was indigenous people here that came here from Asia.
Do you know what indigenous means?
Listen, before.
Listen, I didn't come here to learn the definition of fancy 2-bit words that I myself used. Okay? I don't need to know word meanings. How dare you, with your massive wrinkly brain, try and own me in the marketplace of ideas? Listen, buddy, shut up. I have no idea.
Or
indigenous people can't come from somewhere else.
Why do you ask a question if you're going to interrupt?
I'm not sure if you know what the meaning of indigenous means.
I do know what it means. It
Doesn't sound
means
like
they came here first, right? They came here from Asia by way of land bridge. Have an argument with Neil deGrasse Tyson or anybody else about that. I don't care.
Is he an American?
I genuinely don't care. Yes, he is.
Okay, just checking.
My point is,
like, another thing I appreciate about Mehdi Hasan is the constant barbs. Like, this man has professional media training. He knows how to get someone to lose their cool, right? So, like, him basically just, like, poking this guy, like, is Neil deGrasse Tyson? Is he a citizen? Who do you think is indigenous? Like, all these little questions are just jabs to rile this guy up. Because honestly, because the angrier this guy gets, the better it makes Mehdi Hasan look. Just full stop.
okay.
Nothing to do with crime. So far, you've agreed with me that these people are
Because you're
criminals.
derailing, dude. I'm trying to stay on track.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did we just see like a vein bulge in his neck?
Nothing to do with crime. So far, you've agreed with me that these people are criminals.
Oh my god, you did. Look at that. Holy shit, dog. Dude. You're gonna blow. You don't see this massive vein right here?
Because you're derailing, dude. I'm trying to stay on track.
You literally sat down and asked me where I'm from. I think you derailed.
It's a tendon? Fuck you. It's fine. I take that back. No, fuck you.
I think you got offended by that, but I'm
not offended. I'm just wondering what it has to do with crime.
I'm always curious.
We're going to talk about immigration. Don't worry. Later on, you can come back.
I hope so.
Right now, you're doing a very bad job of
also
making in the case that he's not pro-crime.
I just got a round of.
I'm sorry. His ancestors may have migrated here or immigrated here in the 1500s, but clearly his eyebrows have never made the journey over the sea. Like, dude, what the fuck is happening with these eyebrows, man? These people all think like they're the master race, and then they're like sitting around with like no eyebrows. Like, I don't know, that's weird. That's weird. You look like this guy looks like one of those cartoon guys where like maybe this is too deep of a cut, where like you can use like a little pen to like move magnetic bits around to like make the facial hair. This guy looks like a child did that but removed the eyebrows for lulz. You know, like this guy's just like a complete like cartoon character.
Applause. I could probably get another one actually if I asked for it.
Wow.
So I don't think I'm doing
this how
as
you
bad.
get rounds of applause? You sit in a room with 20 people who agree with you. Wow, amazing. Amazing. That must make you feel good.
You know what? I'm
20 people who agree with you applauded you.
Outraged right
wow.
now. This is
Nah, Doug. Okay, look, I'm so glad you're getting so outraged right now.
You know what? I'm
20
actually
people.
glad.
Meanwhile, just his neck is bulging.
Agree with you, applauded you.
Outraged right
wow.
now. This is great.
I love it.
Do I have to say anything at this point, or are you just going to keep going?
No, please.
Okay.
Make your claim.
Well,
my
claim is that I don't care if it's pro-crime. You want to go back to the topic of conversation?
That's fine. We agree then. He's pro-crime and you don't care.
But I have a question for you, though. Do you care on the opposite side of the spectrum?
Yes.
Do you care about law being administered to the opposite side of the spectrum?
I think anyone who assaults a police officer shouldn't be pardoned. I think that Donald Trump shouldn't have pardoned 9 Republican members of Congress who were convicted of crimes, and I don't think Joe Biden should commit. I don't think Democrats should pardon Democrats.
Fair, but I don't
We
think
both
you
agree?
understand where we are in the U.S. then.
I think I do.
No, because you're
I think I do
arguing
this for
from
a
a
living.
position of like a U.S. that doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
We're headed towards
so
tribal-
nihilism, no laws, nothing matters.
It's not about
everyone's pro-crime.
It's not about that. It's that
That's
conservatives
convenient.
conservatives for too long have been playing it safe. They've been playing by the law.
Really?
They've been playing
They've
it
been
by the
playing
book.
by the law?
Yes, they have.
Maybe
We're
you missed the Bush presidency.
conservatives
Did you
are
live
so
here during the Bush years?
Conservatives are
Didn't
so
play by the
concerned.
law, George W.
Let me
Bush, nor did
finish.
Ronald Reagan.
Let's be respectful to you. Let me finish.
I'm not sure you've been that respectful, but okay.
I'm trying to.
This man's like gonna burst a gasket. It's crazy. This is, you can tell by the way that he's used to like bullying other people around. And like the fact that like Mehdi's like, I don't think you've been very respectful. It literally look at his reaction to that. He like can't even process it, dude. Look, why can't you respect me? The first thing I asked you was to know your ethnic background, to pay you proper respect by implying you belong in India. Jesus Christ. That's what real respect looks like.
Bring it back. So let's both bring it back,
That's
okay?
good.
I'm conservative, okay?
Really?
Let me tell you this. We do play it too safe. We've been playing it by the book for too long. At this point,
We were all really confused about where you stood on the political spectrum, guy.
gloves are off, right? The left has made their point. They're willing
Are
to
the
do...
police force in Washington the left?
Yes!
why were
Are
they
you
assaulting?
kidding me? The left? Are you
wow.
are you insane?
Police officers.
Look, okay.
The leftist police in Washington, D.C. I didn't want to say anything. As a leftist, okay? As a leftist, I didn't want to say anything, but we have a bunch of ANCOMs working in the Washington D.C. Police Department, and we're getting ready to take over. That's a joke. If I have a handler in the CIA or FBI or whatever at this point, watching my stream, that I was joking. There isn't an ANCOM cell of police officers waiting to be activated. That's not a thing. Please don't use like $1 billion trying to look into it. Anyway.
Hey, look at LA right here. You think those stand down?
You think the LAPD are a bunch of liberal Marxists?
No, but I
Really?
think they listen to liberal Marxists who tell them what to do.
Okay.
I think they listen to who signs their paychecks at the
So
end
can
of
I
the
just
day.
check,
who are
because you're
liberal
doing lots
Marxists.
of little diversions.
I love the idea that the police officers aren't liberal Marxists. They're just taking the orders of liberal Marxists. What is it? I'm sorry.
I think
Marxists.
no, but I
Really?
think they
I'm sorry.
stand down. Those stand
You
down.
think the LAPD are a bunch of liberal Marxists?
Just the idea of liberal Marxists is that phrase being thrown around here is really brain breaking, to be honest.
No, but I
Really?
think they listen to liberal Marxists who tell them what to do.
Okay.
I think they listen to who signs their paychecks at the
So
end
can
of
I
the
just
day.
check,
who are
because you're
liberal
doing lots
Marxists.
of little diversions. We both agree Donald Trump
They pay attention to who signs their checks at the end of the day, the liberal Marxists. Like, come on, dude.
is pro-crime, you're just fine with it.
No,
is that the position?
I don't.
That's what you've
agree
said
with
so
your-
far
I
for
don't
about
agree with your
5 minutes.
I don't agree with your
I
definition.
know that Mehdi said that facetiously, but this guy is too dumb to understand that's a meaningless statement. This guy doesn't understand that Mehdi is making fun of him. This guy doesn't understand he's being fucked with.
What's your definition of crime?
It doesn't
Stomping
matter.
on a police officer's head
No,
is not a
what-
crime.
That's
That's your definition of crime as the
keeps getting
Native
me out of it.
American.
I am Native American.
If you
Okay.
say
Oh god. Oh fuck. See, I don't hate how dumb these guys are. Because honestly, them being treated as the morons they are by Mehdi Hasan does an enormous amount of good, in my opinion, right? Like, if you're a normie and you're just like stumbling through like content and you come across like, oh, Mehdi Hasan, I remember that guy, and you click on this video, you walk away from this thinking, oh, conservatives are literally the dumbest people on the planet and I should never listen to them. You know, like, if you're a normal person of any kind of caliber, like, you encounter this content in the wild, you walk away permanently inoculated to this type of fascist brain rot. You know? That's my take. Anyway, that's my hope for this type of content.
So, going back to the topic at hand, we have different definitions of crime because you're talking about...
There's
It's
a
not
criminal
about-
code
it's
in
not
this
about
country.
what's
It's called the
convenient.
U.S. Criminal Code.
You know what? Let's focus
That's
on
what
what we
everyone
agree on.
focuses
Well, when you really break it down, the law is just a social construct. So really, if we have a difference of definition, that means I have a different law than you do. So, have you ever thought about that, Mehdi Hasan?
I'm sure you and I actually agree on a lot
Do we
more than
agree
you
that
realize.
people shouldn't stomp on police officers' heads? Can we agree on that? If you
I'm
don't
not-
agree on that, then I really think this conversation is kind of
No,
pointless.
because first of all, you're saying what? That the police have the authority that they're given the...
Dude absolutely cannot bring himself to say that stomping on a police officer's head would be a violation of American law. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy, dog.
He's more of a naive American than a Native American.
Yeah, a different kind of without the T movement. Jazz Dog, thank you for the $5 dono and for being the first person to support stream today. Very much appreciated. Is this guy a podcaster? There's a decent chance all of these people are like some type of support system to a known fascist content creator.
authority. I don't accept the authority that's been
It's a
given by
very
liberal
conservative
Marx.
position. I thought the conservative are pro-police.
Then you
Or
don't
we
know what a
redefine-
real... Hey, listen,
so
you're
we
in a room
redefine
with
crime.
juggernauts right now,
We
okay?
redefine
I'm telling you right now,
conservatives.
you are going to be blown open if you think
yeah,
that my
if we're going to
position
struggle
is
with the
alt-right.
English language,
You're gonna be blown the fuck out, Mehdi Hasan.
for the
No
next couple of
idea
hours, then yeah,
what you're
we'll
up
struggle.
against right now, okay?
100%.
Yeah. Newsflash, the conservatives are liberal to me, okay? Neocons, libertarians, all those mainstream people, they might as well be leftists to me, okay?
Yeah, because again, these people are fascists.
That's how far to the right I am. Do you understand my position? So when
I
you say,
kinda guessed it when you sat down.
say, about obeying police, why would I give the authority to police? Do you know
think-
here in America?
Do you think Donald Trump...
I'm trying to decide, like, do you think that this guy's like a sovereign citizen type? Like he's like, there's actually a secret law where if you secede from the United States individually, you are under American maritime law from the 1800s.
Here
should
in
be
America-
pardoning 9 members of Congress
Do you
who
know
committed
who-
financial crimes.
Let me see if I can remember
Are
his
you
name right, because
pro-financial
it's so-
crime?
Do you know
Are you
who Thomas-
pro-financial crime?
Do you know
All
who
right,
Thomas
pause.
Timbo is?
Pause.
I think the people who clapped you have voted you out.
All right. Head back to your seat.
Oh, the Mehdi Hasan nails the necessary contempt in tone for these people, and I appreciate it.
Been voted out by the
conservatives.
majority.
Nice to meet you.
Hi
Hello,
there.
sir. How are you?
Hey, so I'm gonna be as respectful.
Oh boy. The vibes on every single one of these guys are absolutely rancid. The guy like the vibes these people give off are so bad. This guy looks like he would play a serial killer in like a police procedural. You know, like the vibes are just bad on these ones.
Compulsory tip for having to listen to these idiots twice.
Sterling, thank you for the $5 super chat. Very much appreciated. He looks like Walter Mondale. This guy looks like an early like 2010s like basic starting create your character model, you know? Like, dude, in a video game. Jesus. He looks like he played the serial killer copycat. He actually kind of looks like that guy from what's that game? It's like a choose your own adventure style game from on the PS3, made by the guy who made Detroit 2 Human. Oh god, come on. I know Heavy Rain. Dude looks like the guy from Heavy Rain. He sounds like Discount Ben Shapiro. Hell yeah, Jay. Yes. Doesn't he? I'm not making it up. Here, Heavy Rain Pro Tag. What's his name? Ethan Mars. Oh man, this image is so small. Here. Just want... There we go. God, that was hard. Dude literally looks like this... Come on. Yeah, he'd scream Sean. Like, just have this character model, like... I don't know, bow his head a little bit. Wow, you're right. Thank you. Thank you for rewarding my fringe video game knowledge.
About this as possible, but the truth is your claim is completely bad faith. You do not care about being anti-crime. You yourself are pro-crime. Your side is pro-crime because you're a progressive.
How am I pro-crime?
So I'll give you an example, right? So your side, not Donald Trump, has passed a series of laws in California. Let's go with California. It's where we are right now. It's where I'm from. I don't know. Are you from California?
No.
Or okay. So in California, for example, the state legislature, completely progressive, just passed a law that limits sex offender registration to 10 years. It was life before. That's pro-crime. The legislature in California, which is progressives again, has passed a law that says the voter-induced three-strike law is no longer absolute. If someone murders someone, stabs someone on 3 separate occasions, a judge...
California voters changed the state's 3-strike rule in 2012, so the mandatory 25 to life sentence was only imposed on serious or violent offenders. In 2021, the legislature ordered a mandatory resentencing for those with certain enhanced sentences. That seems good. That actually seems good though.
Judge now does not have to give them life. That's a progressive law. That is not. That is pro-crime. You support that, don't you?
I actually don't support.
It instead of just having a 25 to life, you have a sliding scale based on the seriousness of the offense.
Sex offenders coming off a list. I think they should be on for life.
Okay, so you disagree with progressives.
So hold on. You and I both agree that sex offending is a bad thing, especially child sex offending, right?
It seems like you and I agree on that.
I
The
agree on that.
legislature of California.
I don't know when this was recorded, but holy shit. This coming out right now during the Trump Epstein stuff. Oh man. Okay.
So I'm not here to debate the legislature of California. I'm here to debate Donald Trump being pro-crime. And I'm saying that Donald Trump was friends with Ghislaine Maxwell. When Ghislaine Maxwell, who's the worst child sex trafficker of our lifetime, she's serving over 20. Do you know Ghislaine Maxwell?
Yeah, she's actually not. Jeffrey Epstein's the worst sex trafficker.
He's dead. I'm talking about people who are alive.
Oh god. Just like holy fuck, guys. Does anyone know any details about the sex offender thing? Because that does actually seem pretty bad. Yeah, again, it's a representation of like a sliding scale where like if you've done what are deemed, and there's different criteria in the state, like minor, like smaller or less severe crimes of that nature, you go on the sex offender registry for 10 years. If you do it in a more serious capacity, then it's 20 years to life on the registry. So like again, there's wiggle room instead of there just being like, oh, you did it, boom, you're forever in this category. It's just, again, more wiggle room when it comes to like sentencing. Yeah, like Bastion, that's a good example, right? Like some people have been arrested for public indecency because they had to go piss and there weren't bathrooms, so they pissed in a bush. But then, like, under some state laws, that can be construed as like a sex crime and get you on the list forever. And so this was a way to have like a little bit more flexibility in what the courts might do. Can I just point out these fascists are funny looking? Always. It is always acceptable to make fun of fascists.
Right now.
It's interesting, though, you didn't use his name,
Well,
right? Wouldn't he
no,
be the
I'm-
one who did this?
Oh, great. I'm glad you brought up Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein, before he died, did an interview with Michael Wolff. He's on tape. I don't know if you've heard the tape. He says, my closest friend was Donald Trump. I was his closest friend. Elon Musk, I'm not sure if you've heard of him. He tweeted recently that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files. Yes. And Ghislaine Maxwell, who was the right-hand...
And by the way, I don't know how substantiated this is, but... and I feel cringe even saying this, but Mueller, She Wrote, has a large liberal listener base. Put out a call to FBI officers for comments about the Epstein files, because we know that a large portion of the FBI was put on like sorting through these files and like kind of accumulating the raw data from the files. And in some cases, they were put on these, to process these files for 24 to 48 hours. And it took place very, very rapidly, very chaotically. And Mueller, She Wrote, got a few comments from FBI agents and analysts who said that, like, there were 100,000 documents that they had to go over in total that were given to the department, and like there were like 300,000 instances of like Trump being mentioned. Like I want to see more substantiation of this, but like the association here between Trump and Epstein is incredibly strong. Like it's not even subtle. Patrick Lucas, thank you for the gifted membership over on YouTube. Matt
Nobody
Tatiahu.
expects the BW Ahaj.
Matt Tatiahu, thank you for that BWA energy and getting Jobertus Maximus a sub. Very kind of you.
Woman of Jeffrey Epstein, when she was on trial for child sex offending, which you and I are opposed to, Donald Trump stood up and said, good luck to her, I wish her well. So yeah, that makes him pro-crime and pro-criminal if he's being soft on child sex
Well, you
traffickers
just said they
like
were his
Epstein.
friends. He's
Yeah, like I'm sorry, I don't think there's any possible way one could be a long-term associate of Jeffrey Epstein and not have known what he was up to, and not have, if you are genuinely his best friend, not have participated. There was a story in the New York Times that got published yesterday about a number of different instances that took place while Trump and Epstein were friends in New York. And one of the instances was a party where Epstein was the only guest. And two different accounts from two different witnesses, two different women report sexual assaults that night. Because it was just Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein and a lot of very young women and possibly girls underage. So, there's you can't really ignore that element of things anymore, and any kind of fascist who's trying to play dumb about this is, honestly, just drop some of the Michael Wolff sound bites.
I'm saying he was friends. He was friends with Epstein. You haven't seen the videos? They danced together, partied together. Epstein said I was his closest friend.
He's not supported the pedophilia part. The only people supporting pedophilia
that's not
are
true.
the left.
Trump gave a speech about 20 years ago where he said Epstein's a great guy. He loves young women. A lot of them are very young. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, laugh, laugh. So yeah, I think he's pro-crime and pro-criminal.
So you think
and I
he's
think he's
pro-crime
soft
for
on
having
sex
a friend
offenders.
do you have any friends who are criminals?
Not that I know of. Certainly not child sex offenders. No. Do you?
If it came, no, of course not.
Okay, so we're both in agreement again.
If
So why are you defending Donald Trump?
If it came out tomorrow that one of your friends was a child sex
You know
trafficker,
what I'd do?
you'd stop being friends with him.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I
but-
wouldn't say.
And then I'd go on TV and I would say, "Oh, look, Mr. Hassan was friends with this guy 10 years ago. Therefore, he's
What if
pro-child
Mr.
sex
Hassan
trafficking."
said, "I wish them well when they're on trial"?
Mehdi is just so devastatingly good at this. He's just so fucking good at this. Like, I don't understand how, like, you don't just, like, wither into a corn cob at this point. Like, at this juncture, you're so cooked, you're turning into popcorn.
Wouldn't you ever go at me for
You
that?
wish your
Wouldn't
friend
you
well
not?
on trial?
Yeah, child sex trafficker. Would you be mad?
I wouldn't wish someone well, but that's
Donald
your
Trump
gotcha.
did.
That's your gotcha.
It's a pretty big gotcha.
He wished
Yeah,
a friend
pretty
well.
big gotcha.
Okay,
He
but
praised
see,
the- he
what
praised
you're
the
really
woman
trying
for
to do
child
right
labor.
now is you're
What
trying to
about
get
the
back
fact
to
that he's-
Donald Trump
what
on
about
a
the fact
personal
that
level.
Elon
Let's
Musk
talk
says his
policy.
name is
What's his
Oh,
policy?
you want to talk policies?
Yes.
So when he left office in 2020, he left behind the highest murder rate for over 100 years.
He left behind-
God, I would give anything for Mehdi Hasan to moderate the presidential debate in 2028. He'd be so fucking good at it.
The highest murder.
Yes.
That is the most bad faith claim you
No,
could
no,
possibly make.
it's a fact from the
No,
CDC
and you know
data.
what? Here's why it's bad faith.
Can I finish a sentence and then you can come back in?
You're just lying to people. Donald
I'm
Trump.
lying?
Yes,
Can I finish the sentence?
Donald Trump does not cause the
Can
murder
I-
rates.
can I-
Murder is a state
Oh,
level
that's
crime.
hilarious.
Gavin
Conservatives
Newsom is
spent-
more responsible for the murder rate than Donald Trump is.
That's hilarious.
What the fuck, man? He ran away from that. He ran away so hard from Trump supporting like a pedophile, one of the most notorious pedophiles of all time. And like now is talking about how Gavin Newsom is responsible for the murder rate, which has gone down. So like I guess thanks Gavin Newsom.
So Donald Trump's not responsible for murder rate, but other politicians who are Democrats
Yes,
are.
because it's
Everyone
a state
can see
level
your
law.
partisanship.
That's like saying no. I'll say Republicans are too. State governors who are soft on crime are the ones that are
Let me
responsible
finish
for
a
murder
sentence.
rates.
When Donald Trump left office in 2020, between 2019 and 2020, according to data from the CDC, from the FBI, from Pew Research, there's a 30% increase in the murder rate between 2019 and 2020. It was the single biggest jump in the murder rate since
I'm sorry.
2020, according to data from the CDC, from the FBI.
Is that Brad Plumbo? I can't tell if that's Brad Plum. No, I don't think that's Brad Plumbo. It's just dude looks almost exactly like him. Sorry, Brad Palumbo. Is that not him? No, I don't think that is. But it does kind of look like him, right? I don't know, a lot of these conservative dipshits look the same to me.
From Pew
Except for this guy right here. I have no idea what the fuck is up with this guy.
Research. There's a 30% increase in the murder rate between 2019 and 2020. It was the single biggest jump in the murder rate since 1905.
And who's doing
so he's pro-crime
who's doing the murdering?
and
Aren't they
pro-criminal.
responsible? Who's doing the murdering?
The murderers.
So aren't they responsible
But
for
why
the
did it
murder
go
rate?
up on his watch?
What?
Why did it go up on his watch?
Gee,
He's
that's
very
a real
bad.
hard. That's
He's
a real
very bad
hard
at fighting crime.
That's a
for
real hard one to
Republicans.
figure out, right? We shut down the whole economy during COVID. We told everyone they couldn't go out unless it was to violently protest. We told people that if a cop tries to arrest you, that cop's probably going to get charged with murder.
No, I think the pandemic had a lot to do with it. But
Right,
the
so
pandemic
did he
didn't
cause
finish
that?
in 2020.
What?
The pandemic didn't finish in
No,
2020.
but do you
and yet
ask
you
why
all...
the murder?
I love how Mehdi Hasan maneuvers this guy into being like, no, it's the pandemic, stupid. When like literally every conservative runs away from the pandemic being like the cause of all of the crime rate spikes. I love how he maneuvered this guy. He's manhandling these people and they don't even know it.
And yet, if we're going to play the what about game, you guys blame Joe Biden for crime for years.
What Joe Biden actively induces policies that are pro-crime. I'm asking.
So
you
does
for
Donald Trump. Okay.
Name the policy that's
name one
pro-crime.
right now.
Please, I've asked you for like 10 minutes.
I'll name
Please
one right
do
now.
that.
No, you haven't actually. You talked about California legislatures. He pardoned violent criminals who then went on to commit other crimes. You don't think releasing violent crimes into the community?
Pardon's a one-time thing. What's his policy he has pushed? Name a law he has signed.
A pardon is a one-time thing. Is a policy is not one-time thing.
That's like Jimmy Carter pardoned the draft.
You guys may want to dodge January 6th, the pardons.
I'm not dodging that.
Then deal with it. Did you agree with
I'm gonna right now.
Do you agree with
Jimmy Carter pardoned draft dodgers. Does that mean his policy was
I don't
no one
support
has to...
Jimmy Carter. Do you support the pardoning of people who went on to be prosecuted for sexually abusing a 7-year-old child, illegal gun possession, reckless homicide?
Now, see,
these are people
there's
who
more
released.
bad faith. See,
These are
there's more
people
bad
released
faith.
from
He
prison.
didn't pardon someone for sexually abusing a
No, but
child.
they went on to be convicted
someone
of it.
for
So
rebelling
that's
against the government that they believe had rigged elections. That's what he pardoned them for. He didn't pardon them for sexual child abuse.
But they were criminals who committed those crimes.
Oh, see, yeah, you're trying to say he pardoned them and then they went on to do crimes. It's almost like you're implying that they're criminals. Yeah, kind of, yeah. Really makes you think about that one.
Crimes, he let them out, so that means the crime rate goes up.
So you say they're criminals because they did the crime, right?
Yeah.
Would you extend that to illegal immigrants, that they're all criminals
Comrade
because they committed a crime? I have a feeling your position is going to change.
Supreme Court, we're going to talk about immigration.
Someone who's illegally entered the United States, not a criminal, but somebody who illegally entered the Capitol
Not according to the Supreme Court of the United States.
The Supreme Court has said that anyone who enters the United States illegally
Supreme
is not
Court,
a criminal.
And we can jump to future claims.
Can I get the case site?
We can jump to 20. You want to get the case?
The case site, please. You said the Supreme Court.
The citation of the case.
Yes, that entering the United States illegally is not a crime.
It's called Arizona versus United States 2012. Go look it up.
2012.
The fact that Mehdi Hasan can just pull that out. Dude comes with the receipts. You know, like, these people don't know shit about shit. They don't know that the Supreme Court ruled, unlike what the severity level of a violation of coming into the country across that invisible line is on par with, like, getting a speeding ticket. Hey, are you a hardened felon if you go 5 miles an hour over the speed limit? No. You're not. Are you like a criminal? Goes on your permanent record if you, like, I don't know, run out of time on your parking meter? No, you're not. You just get a ticket. It's the same severity of crime. And these people all act like, you're a dangerous felon if you did that. And it's just like, that's not even remotely an applicable standard to have. And the Supreme Court doesn't agree with them.
Pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
It's true. I do hope that if any, like, young burgeoning fascists watch this, they realize how devoid their ideology actually is of answers. You know, like, these people are empty. They got nothing. All they sell is hatred and bigotry in order to, like, fill in the gaps of, like, and failures of their own ideology. I'll not listen to this kind of pro-crime policies, Jack.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you, sir?
Nice
Wow,
to meet
no one else even tried. Jesus. Just those two.
you,
Nice
Mehdi.
to meet you. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. I really just more want to get an understanding. When you say pro-criminal, what do you mean?
I mean that when confronted
They all keep asking this question, and they've clearly been talking about it. Like, why are you all asking the same question?
with people who've committed criminal acts, Donald Trump has been either soft on them, friendly with them, pardoned them, and of course, let's not forget, I mean, we've got 5 minutes left, I'm surprised it hasn't come up earlier, he's a convicted criminal himself sitting in the White House.
Okay, I want to make sure I understand.
I mean, a great example would be, in order to try and criminally prosecute Kilmar Abrego Garcia, they're like cutting a deal with an actual MS-13 gang leader. like they don't give a shit about crime, guys. They never have. That's their secret, Cap.
And you correctly, because
Yes.
I don't want to strawman you.
No,
You're saying
I appreciate that.
every time that he's been confronted,
Not every time. I didn't
most
say the words
times.
every time.
As we say in the north of England, they're naught but piss and wind. I like that.
most times,
A lot of the time.
a lot of the times,
Yes.
he's leaned towards criminal activity.
I didn't say criminal activity. He has committed crimes.
Endorsed criminal.
He's been indicted for
Correct.
88 different criminal offenses in 4 different jurisdictions by 5 different grand juries. He was convicted himself on 34 different criminal offenses by a jury of his peers. But let's park that for a moment.
Okay.
Separate to his own crimes, when
Right.
confronted with the crimes of others, or the alleged crimes of others, for example, a Chinese crypto billionaire
Right,
called
right.
Justin Sun, who was being investigated for market manipulation, Trump dropped the case, invited...
Also, again, totally not relevant to anything, but like I can't get over like these piss colored shoes that this man is wearing. Like why'd you wear your piss shoes? What's happening here? Why would you do that? What possessed you in the morning to put on white socks, brown pants, blue shirt, and piss shoes? Why? The crimes these people commit.
him to the golf course,
Right, I get
invited
it.
him
So
to the White House,
plenty of examples,
and the guy
plenty of
invested
examples.
$70 million in Trump's
Okay,
cryptocurrency.
so what I want to ask you
That's
this.
pro-crime
Okay,
in my
so
view.
is it possible?
He's posing as a sewage worker to get the working class sympathy.
Because remember, the burden of proof's on you, right? You have to prove. Is it possible that all these things that he's done that supposedly make him pro-crime, there's another reason for the doing it? There's other justification. For example, let me give you an example, and then you can rebut it. The J6.
Yes.
Is it possible that he could have done this to unite the country? To
oh no. Dude, now I know he said it was okay to attack the capital of the United States of America and chant for the hanging of the vice president, but maybe he told us all that was okay and pardoned the people who did it to show that we can all be friends again. Like I just, I think it really showed that we can all come together as one people, and together we are greater than any one of us alone. I think that maybe that's what he meant. Hey, Speed Razor.
move past, to go to a new chapter. If it's even possible, I think you would have to admit that there's another possibility, therefore he's not pro-crime. At least...
Yo, Speed Razor, thank you for the 5 gifted tier 1 subs. Very much appreciated.
So, possibility.
So let me agree and disagree.
Yep, okay.
So I agree with you that the intent could be different. I don't think Donald Trump was sitting there saying, how can I increase the level of murders? Let me release some murders.
Only together can we hang our pants. It's no longer hang my pants. It's hang our pants. That's on the same level of Boo Earns. Boo Earns.
Right. I'm not saying he did that on January 6th. I don't think he was trying to unite the country. That's where we disagree. That's bullshit. In fact, he divided the country further. But intent doesn't really matter to my claim. If he's releasing violent criminals,
wait.
it doesn't
Intent
matter.
doesn't matter?
No, he's pro-crime and pro-criminal.
No, but that's a big indictment to say pro-crime. That means
If I'm
he's
confronted,
for crime.
I'm confronted. Well, he is, because for example, I gave an
No.
example.
It could
Can I
be
finish?
possible.
I didn't
Okay, sorry,
interrupt you.
forgive me.
Your friend earlier,
It's all good,
your
Speed
ally,
Razor.
said, where has he done stuff that's increased the crime rate? I'm telling you, people have been pardoned who have been convicted on multiple other crimes. These people who we pardoned had previous criminal records. They were not just some folks chilling around go, we're against the takeover of our country, we're opposed to rebellion. A lot of these people were already hardened criminals, militia members. He looked at those people and said, you know what? They've been convicted, in many cases, by Republican judges, but I'm going to let them out. Yeah, that makes
Can I
you
ask you a question?
pro-criminal.
Is it possible?
Very
Again,
much so.
all I'm trying to...
And if Joe Biden had done it, you'd be attacking.
But all I'm trying to say is what if he did that because he saw the spark of goodness in their eye? He saw what good works God could work through them, and well, what if God works with in mysterious ways with imperfect vessels? what if he looked into their hearts and saw the potential of all they could be? You know? And maybe he thought, hey, these people deserve another chance to attack the Capitol. You know, second time's the charm, you know?
Sure. Is it possible that their conviction was part of a plea? It's like, oh shit, I can't get out of this, so I got to take a plea deal.
Some of them, maybe.
Yeah, that happens so fucking often in this country. But weirdly, I don't think this guy would accept that type of argument from, like, say, somebody who pled guilty to robbing a
Maybe the
convenience
real
store.
J6 was the friends we met along the way.
Jesus, Simric, true. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Appreciate it. Folks like you make the show possible.
Maybe.
A lot of them, maybe?
Others we saw with our own lying eyes on tape,
Okay,
battering police officers.
So I want to eventually...
Did you watch live on January 6th? What happened?
To be completely honest, I'm pretty novice on this.
Okay.
I'm more trying to target... You're saying he's pro-crime, and in my head...
You know, it's kind of crazy that you came on a show as a far-right conservative and you consider yourself a novice on January 6th? The last time you guys tried to grasp onto power? I mean, like, all right, I guess.
I'm
just
saying,
thinking this logically. Let me finish. If I can finish for 1 second. If thinking this, there's a possibility that he might have had other reasons. For example, unifying the country.
Yep.
Next chapter, right? That could be the reason. Therefore, it's not pro-crime. There was other reasons. I'm just saying
Nick
that's a
Leftist.
possibility. And
Sorry,
if that's
I'm
possible,
saying it's a possibility, but I'm saying it's irrelevant because if you're knowingly releasing violent criminals out into the community, pardoning, not just releasing, then yes, you are being pro-criminal. And
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not that difficult to figure out. Like, yeah, if somebody did a crime and you're just pardoning them en masse for no real political agenda, right? Like, you can make the comparison to, like, Jimmy Carter and, like, people who didn't go to Nam, but, like, that at least had, like, a restorative, reparative element to it. In a way that, like, pardoning the people who attacked the capital of the United States of America really doesn't.
Interviewed police officers.
I don't know about that case.
I've interviewed police officers who have been assaulted, beaten, had to retire from the police office, broken bones.
Can I move really
Let me
quick
say this out.
yeah, go
I'll
ahead.
finish very quickly. I've interviewed these police officers. They've been beaten by people who they've then seen walk off the streets and then carry on threatening them. Yes, when Donald Trump is responsible for that, you're definitely pro-crime.
Okay, I doubt
All
a lot
right,
of the sources, but
pause.
You doubt
Pause.
police officers who testified to being assaulted?
You've
Wow.
been voted out by the majority. Please return
Nice
to your
to meet you.
seat.
Thanks. Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are
Nice
you?
to meet you, Mehdi.
So you claim that your main claim is that Trump pardoned some people from January 6th. By the way, I was there. I saw it all
boy.
firsthand. About a football field away. There's smoke in my eyes. Bloodied. It was a crazy day.
Were you convicted of any crimes?
No, of course not, because I didn't enter the building. Stay very peaceful. But your entire claim is that he
That's not
pardoned.
my entire claim.
Your bet's basically you keep
No,
bringing
I
it up.
mentioned-
All
I
you
can-
do is bring it
wanna-
up.
Okay, I'll mention
well,
some other
let
people.
me say this.
Are you
let me say
okay with
this.
his pardoning of Paul Walchak, who
let me
money
bring
from
this
his
up.
employees?
You keep talking
or
about
9 former
pardoning.
members of Congress.
You
That's
keep
my
talking
claim.
about pardoning.
He keeps pardoning criminals.
You keep talking about pardoning, but, like, that doesn't show he supports lawlessness. He's just letting criminals go free. What's so wrong with that?
That makes him.
You know who else
pro-criminal.
pardoned a big criminal?
Go on.
Hunter Biden was pardoned by his
Yeah, I
father.
don't think
He
he should've
did
done
crack
that.
cocaine,
He should've done
and
that.
he had hookers there too.
I'm with you all.
God, oh man, I love the Fash when they think they have, like, a really good point, and their really good point is just, oh yeah, well, the worst person you know also did something bad. It's like, yeah, I agree, and that's, like, their silver bullet point. Like, yeah, we also don't like Joe Biden. Congrats.
I'm with you all.
But then why don't you claim that Biden? Why don't you claim that
I
Biden
think Joe
is
Biden in that
pro-crime?
instance was pro-crime. He shouldn't have done it.
Well,
he
so
shouldn't
he
have
was
done it.
overall
He
pro-crime
shouldn't have
just
done
because
it.
he did that
No,
one.
but Joe Biden didn't just. So if it was just a pardon,
Okay.
then you'd be fine. But I already mentioned there's also the fact that Joe Biden wasn't actually a convicted criminal in office. Trump has committed crimes. Trump hangs around with criminals. He spent much of the 80s hanging around with the New York mob. He hung around with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell.
Well, that whole that's
Whoa. Okay, you need to stop bringing up things that make me look like I don't know what I'm talking about. Whoa. You're talking. Wait, this is the first I'm hearing about this. He hung out with a sex trafficker and the mob? What? Wait, was he friends with Jeffrey Epstein? Oh my god. Like, I want to see where these people, like, have a real-time mental breakdown over the fact that, like, their entire worldview is unsustainable.
Keep going.
Jeffrey Epstein lived in West Palm Beach, the area, and that's the closest golf course he could go to.
Do you think?
And he's very,
do you think
very
Donald
rich,
Trump is in the Epstein
so
files?
he paid.
Do you think Donald Trump is in the Epstein
As soon
files?
as Trump found out,
I'm sorry. What?
do
you think?
And he's very,
do you think
very
Donald Trump? He hung around with.
lived in West Palm Beach, the area, and that's the closest golf course he could go to.
Do you think?
And he's very,
do you
very
think
rich.
Oh, holy fuck. Yeah, well, Jeffrey Epstein couldn't have gone golfing anywhere else, okay? So he had to go golf at Mar-a-Lago, and that's why Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein knew each other. It was just his favorite golfing spot, nothing more. Like, they literally called each other best friends. Oh, they threw parties together. He wrote him a fucking birthday card. Like, he flew on the Lolita Express. Trump literally met his current wife on the Lolita Express. Jesus. No, they just happened to golf together. Holy moly.
Trump is in the Epstein
So he
files.
paid.
Do you think Donald Trump is in the
As
Epstein
soon
files?
as Trump found out.
Do you think Donald Trump is in the Epstein files?
No, I do not. And
What, is Elon Musk lying?
Let me explain.
As soon as he found out, he stopped being friends with this guy. And that's why he wished the woman who spent her life getting him children to fuck. That's why Donald Trump wished her well. Oh, wait, that doesn't make... Oh, what is the Lolita Express? The Lolita Express is the name given to Jeffrey Epstein's private jet. And that private jet is also where some of the child sex abuse would occur.
This. Okay. He lived in the area in Mar-a-Lago, near Mar-a-Lago. So he.
Yes. No. It wasn't. The Lolita Express wasn't used as Trump's campaign plane in 2024. It was used as J.D. Vance's campaign plane. It was like part of their like campaign fleet. A revamped Lolita Express. That is crazy. They were 16 and up and got paid well. Are you genuinely trying to defend child sex trafficking in my chat? Why are you okay with the rape of children? Why? Like you're like, well, it's fine if a 16-year-old gets fucked by an adult as long as they get paid well. It wasn't sex trafficking. Ghislaine Maxwell is literally serving 20 years in prison for the sex trafficking. So that is sex trafficking. If you are bringing young women or children across state lines to be fucked, that's sex trafficking. In exchange for money, that's sex trafficking. That's like the most basic sex trafficking you can do. And honestly, like, can you do me a favor, Nash? Can you, like, I don't know, go out, like, get in your car, like, and just drive to the nearest police station with your computer. Okay, I want you to I want you to drive to the nearest police station and tell them you've got some interesting things on your hard drives. Okay. I worked for billionaires in New York.
Hey Jack,
I bet you
off
did.
topic, but would you be up to collaborating with Ashley of Vicky Streams or Alice in Wonder One and, especially Alice's positive news segments? Both have big American audiences.
Well, D Boonies, thank you for the $10 super chat. I don't know who either of those people are, so I'd have to check them out. But I'm not inherently opposed to like going on other people's shows. All right, we're this is gross and I'm not going to entertain it anymore. Bye. There we go. All right. Yeah, these people are really gross. Fascists are devoid of light. Perma that bitch? Oh yeah.
Obviously, ticket to go in there.
Yep.
As soon as Trump found out that Epstein had done all those bad things, immediate ban
That's
from
not true,
Mar-a-Lago.
but okay.
Immediate ban
That's
from
not true.
Mar-a-Lago. Yes, it is.
That's not
yes,
true.
it is. 100%.
In fact, Ghislaine Maxwell recruited some of the girls that were abused from Mar-a-Lago.
That is absolutely true.
So listen to this.
From Mar-a-Lago. That's pretty outrageous, right?
Elon Musk tweeted that out in a fit of rage. Okay. Do you
Sometimes
really?
people
do you
tell
really
the truth
think,
when they're angry.
Do you really
the
think,
truth comes out when people are angry sometimes.
So Cash
we
Patel,
might see that today.
Cash Patel literally.
Dude, I think Mehdi like looked at that guy who was hulking out at him earlier. I think Mehdi is continuing to work the room, and honestly, it's a thing of beauty.
Really said that Elon Musk had no access to the Epstein files. So
Cash Patel said that Epstein killed himself. Do you agree with that?
Whatever he says goes. Then yeah, I don't care.
You do?
He knows more information than I do.
A lot of MAGA people are upset.
He knows
with
more
Cash Patel
information
for
than I
saying
do.
that.
But here's the actual claim.
Suddenly people are trying to vote you out.
He knows more than I do. I trust the government completely and utterly. Hey, don't you guys all trust the government as much as these fascist fucks do? Like, Jesus, the amount of like bending over backwards and contorting into knots is I mean, it's degrading, honestly. It degrades the human spirit.
Because you said you agree with Cash Patel on Epstein.
He knows more information than I do.
Is he wearing 2 crosses?
Maxwell was convicted by a jury in U.S. federal court on 5 sex trafficking-related counts. 1 of sex trafficking of a minor, 1 of transporting a minor with the intent to engage in criminal sexual activity, and 3 of conspiracy to commit choate felonies. Maxwell
was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Indeed, Forlorn79. Thank you for subscribing over on Twitch.
That's time. Please return to your seat.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, take care.
Honkas.
Matt at Yahoo, thank you for gifting Stoudman a sub. Also, I've never heard the Honka S emote said by the text to speech, and honestly, it's pretty great.
Surrounded is now a podcast.
God, no, I'm good. I'm good. Okay, wait. All right. So, I think we're gonna do what we did with the Sam Cedar Jubilee, and we're just gonna like cut. We're gonna do each segment of the debate as kind of like one chunk, right? Because I've been talking for like over an hour about just this first one, and there are 3 chunks. Well, 4 looks like 4 chunks. This might be a long dive into the MAGA mind, but you know, I'm having fun. I hope you guys are having fun. Obviously, these people are disturbing, considering their level of misunderstanding about the world their level of deliberate denial, their level of cognitive dissonance. It's scary. It's disturbing. There's a reason why, like, these people who are just so utterly conflicted and so utterly angry all the time and so filled with hate. There's a reason why these people break easy, you know? And it's not because they're well or mentally strong. Let's put it that way. That being said, folks, like, comment, and subscribe. Do the things. I hope you're enjoying my commentary on this, because I'm very much enjoying going over this. There we go. We did a segment, folks. You make repeatedly being punched in the brain bearable, entertaining, and even educational. I do try my best to, like, make it a learning experience for folks. And hey, if you would be so kind to hit the follow button on Twitch, the subscribe button on YouTube, like the YouTube stream, all these things, very important. I know we're doing, like, a late night Sunday stream, and that's kind of nuts, but, like, howdy everybody, how we doing? I just want to say it's great that we're able to do a late night show, a super ultra late night show, and we have, like, almost 400 people watching, which is frankly nuts. That's a lot of you. So thank you. I appreciate it. And I also can't help but notice that we have over 300 people watching in YouTube chat, and we only have 100-ish likes. 115 likes. Those are rookie numbers, okay? We need to get up to 200 likes minimum. I believe in you guys. Believe in the me that believes in you, okay? And Hundo, thank you for the tier 4 sub. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you for supporting the show, because I was just about to ask, hey, if you're getting anything out of the show, consider dropping those subs, donos, memberships, super chats, etc. Because, folks, genuinely that helps me to live, because I don't really make enough to live on ad revenue. I don't have a big channel, though it is growing pretty quick. We broke 14K like a day or so ago, and now we're at 14,230 something. So, like, we're trucking along, and the more of you that like, comment, subscribe, the more of you that drop those subs and donos, etc., the more I'll be able to do. The goal is to, like, grow to be able to, like, I have a few plans, but, like, the general gist of it is I would really like to be able to prep some special shows. I have ideas swirling in my head. I would love to do, like, history streams on, like, the labor organizing movement in the United States and its history. I would love to, like, talk about those things. I also want to be able to invite guests. But in order to do that, I also need to have some degree of clout. I'm aiming for 100K. I want to hit 100K subscribers and then start, like, inviting on guests. What about World War II history? I mean, I'm not opposed to doing World War II history. I just think that right now people could really go for some, history of the labor movement in the U.S. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba. How about the early LGBTQ and civil rights movement, like the Black Panthers, stuff that's not talked about much? Yeah, I mean, like, the entire goal of, like, the history deep dives would be to do stuff like that. Yeah. I'm not opposed to talking about World War II. I just want to be able to, like, rope it into some angles that haven't been talked about before. Let's see here. Guesties. Fun fact, my cold water runs at over 90 degrees Fahrenheit because the temperatures are so hot outside. That sucks. All right, folks. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, do the things that help the show grow. And we're going to do at least one more section of this Mehdi Hasan appearance. Just because I can and want to. And, yeah. Also, I've been really, really busy, so I haven't had time to prep like a an in-depth show to the degree that I would like. So, yes, you get me for like another hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. We'll see how this goes. I'm excited. This is going well. I think one of the things that I have to do with content like this is to, I don't know, feel free to kind of go off on tangents and really rip into these people talking about like their rhetoric and like the historical basis of what they're saying. I think that helps to situate this a little bit more, because most of these people most of these fascists aren't arriving at the points they're trying to make, honestly, by like sitting down and thinking about it. Most of these people are getting their talking points fed to them by like fascists who wrote it down like, I don't know, 100 years ago. You know? Let's see. It's all propaganda. It is all propaganda, but like it's interesting to kind of pinpoint where their propaganda came from, you know? And also, I don't know. It's fun to just point out they're full of shit. Okay. If you catch them on an honest day, they'll just say, read the Turner Diaries. Yeah, if anyone ever tells you that, you know that they're a big-time Nazi. All right. I trust Jack implicitly, but the U.S. tends towards the "we won World War II" mindset. Yeah, no, that is maybe that is something worth pushing back on a little bit. Like, I'm not gonna say the U.S. did nothing, but a lot of other countries did a lot. You know. Anyway. Talking about MAGA mind, my parents almost went down the MAGA pipeline. They felt in 2016 that Trump would clean the swamp, and they felt that undocumented immigrants were criminals. I think if I wasn't a part of their lives, they won't have become independents. They are an American center, which is better than being far right. That is better than being far right. True. All right, let's jump in this this new segment. Let's go. So, folks, wait, what am I drinking? This is a V8. V8 with like some sparkling water in it that is now flat. Still tastes good though. All right. Hello, Camden Baron. Hello, Elson. All right. You're just drinking a pizza? Why would you type that? Why? What possessed you? Why? How does this look like a pizza? A fizzy pizza? You people are lost. Yummy pizza beverage. That looks like juice. Must be pizza juice. All right. I'm gonna click this button. Red equals pizza. I guess for the tomato sauce. So, folks, we're doing part 2 of our Mehdi Hasan fights a room full of Fash series, and honestly, it's been incredible. It's everything you'd expect. The levels of mental ineptitude are really on like a Three Stooges level for these guys. They're just like hateful, dumb, you know, Mo, Curly, and Shemp? I don't know. Anyway, I forget my Three Stooges lore. But let's jump into this, shall we? Freshly squeezed pizza juice. You guys got your finger on the pulse of America.
My next claim is that Donald Trump is defying the Constitution.
Oh, God. These people are going to be absolutely insufferable.
Nice to meet
pleasure
you.
to meet you, sir.
Mehdi, lovely to meet you.
So I would say that with Trump...
Oh, this is a guy who's like, I am a fascist.
I figured that both have audiences that could benefit from your lavender pages, again American audiences, but both seem cool. If you don't review Alice's How to Kiss a Girl vid, how will we know if it's good advice? Lol.
Well, okay, well now, I don't know, we haven't even gotten into this video yet, but number one, thank you for the $20 super chat. I very, very much appreciate that. And number two, now I kind of want to watch that How to Kiss a Girl video to see if, I mean, like, I think I know how to kiss a girl. My partner tells me that I'm a very good kisser, but maybe I can up my kissing game. Maybe there's a secret technique that I'm unaware of. You know, it's time to deploy, like, you know, open the third eye of girl kissing. Maybe I'll watch that video and get you some responses while I test it in the field with my partner when we go on a date in the field.
Trump being anti-constitution, I don't really care, to be quite frankly.
Okay.
Because in regards to the Constitution is a document that should seek to serve us.
Yes.
And when it fails to seek to serve us, that can be amended. Laws can be changed. And quite frankly, the fact is, we're defending things in this country that shouldn't be defended. The First Amendment should not defend pornography and making children and women be victimized. Making women and children be victimized. Making children and women be victimized.
I'm sorry. The idea that this guy doesn't go home and just like goon over pornography for like 10 hours a day, I don't believe you. I don't believe for a goddamn second that this guy isn't like weirdly obsessed with like some kind of niche hentai community. Or like I don't believe you for a second. This guy is like a bad day away.
The secret third thing, where you also hate the Constitution and free speech.
Rundo, thank you for the $5 dono. This guy's one bad day away from falling in love with Elon Musk's new hentai chatbot. Okay, like dude's ready to throw it all away for like just a chatbot to tell him he's a good boy for being a fascist.
Making women and children be victimized as a result of that. I think things like blasphemy shouldn't be allowed per the First Amendment.
Yeah, see, by the way, this is where it always goes, right? They're like, yeah, we need to ban pornography so that we can also ban taking the Lord's name in vain, you know, when we make America into a theocracy, you know. Again, it is kind of fascinating to see all these people, like, completely mask off. Like, they don't even got to bring their Klan robes.
I think that, quite frankly, there are a lot of legal processes that are enabling criminals and bad people to fully enact their will in this country in the name of the Constitution or following the Constitution. So, quite frankly, if Trump is anti-Constitution, good, and I think he should go further.
Okay, so then why are you debating this point?
So this is
like I don't understand in these shows, like the claim being made is that Donald Trump is defying the Constitution, and if you're coming up there to say, yes, he is, and that's good, actually, you're not debating the point, you're agreeing with the point.
Wonderfully revealing of the modern conservative mindset, so I appreciate you spelling it out so openly. Just checking, do you support the Second Amendment?
I do.
Okay, surprise, I was shocked to hear that. I'm saying that Donald Trump is defying the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment. He's thinking of defying the 12th and 22nd Amendments. You're saying you don't care about the Constitution, but actually you do because you quite like the Second Amendment. You just don't like the bits that you disagree with. Can I just be clear on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm more than willing to amend it and include
whenever
the
it's in
Second
your
Amendment.
favor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So can Democrats do the same when they're in office?
No, absolutely not. Because
So you don't believe?
No, Democrats can't do the thing I want to do. Democrats change the Constitution? No, impossible, not allowed. Dude's like, yeah, there are legal ways one can go about changing the Constitution, and I think that's good. And our side should do it. Should Democrats do it? No. What? No.
Friend
democracy?
Enemy. No, I don't. Absolutely not.
What do you believe in?
Autocracy.
By who?
Honestly, quite frankly, anyone who is in line with Catholic teaching.
Oh, dude's a trad cath fascist. I bet this guy hates the new pope. I bet this guy is like genuinely like one of those Catholics that rejects like all papal like statements since like Vatican II. I bet this guy is one of those. He's like, yeah, Pope John Paul II was he was that communist hippie.
Donald Trump is not Catholic.
Of course, he's not. I completely agree, and
So
that's
you
part of
support
the problem.
Trump? You don't support Trump?
No, I don't. I didn't even vote for him. I wrote in like John Pork or someone.
Why?
Holy fuck, he's so conservative. He didn't even vote for the fascist candidate. He's so conservative that he's again. Remember way back, and I think it didn't even make it into the segment. But at the very beginning of this stream, I talk about how like there's a guy who has pierced ears, and I think he answers the first question. And I talk about like how in these circles where like aesthetics is like all they've got, really, piercing your ears can be like an indicator that like you might be a fascist, but you're one of the reasonable or left-wing fascists in their scene. And this guy is just like, you all of this gay shit, all of this men with pierced ears, that's liberal hippie shit. None of that in fascism. We need a straight up autocrat who's willing to do what it takes to impose the theocratic standards that I have imagined. And how are we going to preserve this? How are we going to get this perfect leader? Well, I don't know, and there's no mechanism to really sustain that. It's just we'll pick the right person, and then every subsequent person will be the right person, and that will absolutely work out. No downsides to this plan whatsoever. Definitely shouldn't open a history textbook and see how well that's worked out throughout a lot of human history. And the answer is gonna shock you guys. It hasn't worked out well.
Remember,
why did you vote if you don't believe in democracy and you want autocracy?
Well, because quite frankly, I voted. I kind of voted just to.
I came with this argument, but I'm bored of my own argument. I'm much more interested in this. So
yeah, absolutely.
How do we get to an autocracy?
I think, quite frankly, that if we are
another thing I love about Mehdi Hasan is he's just intellectually curious, right? Like he's come to debate, but he's genuinely now going into like journalist mode, and he's just like, please tell me everything about your worldview and how you want to get from point A to point B on this, because that's nuts.
able to enact local
Who
leaders.
is the we, by the way?
I think, quite frankly, these far-right conservatives sitting right around
White
me.
people?
Yeah,
No brown
absolutely.
people. So,
Well,
some
actually,
of you guys,
I have quite.
some of the people
I
in this
have
room
quite-
don't make the cut from what I can see visually.
Actually,
Okay.
hold on for a moment. I do think that there are people who happen to not be white who do actually have history in this country and have roots in this country. For instance,
Oh my god. Oh my god. Now let me tell you a way in which I'm a little bit of a leftist. I do think that some non-white people might be able to step up as leaders. Damn, dude.
from the Mexican-American War, we subsumed a lot of territory of people who have far stakes in this country who happen to be Hispanic or what have you. I'm for defending the traditional demographics of this country, which is majority white,
So
and
how-
should stay that way.
The traditional demographics of the country? Starting at what point? Like, I love these guys. It's all just arbitrary bullshit. The traditional demographics of the country. You know? Like... Are we not going to talk about indigenous people? Like, whatsoever in the traditional demographics? God. These guys make me think of my old coworker. Guy didn't believe in democracy because people dumb and corruptible, and then says he wants a dictatorship. Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing I don't get. Like, democracy is an imperfect vehicle, of course, but it's the best one we've got at this juncture. And it's just kind of like, if you're worried about people being dumb and corruptible, I don't see how that problem gets better when you concentrate power. That's fewer people to be corrupted. That makes the corruption easier. It makes it more likely that someone dumb could get in a position to, like, choke out the rest of us. Like, I don't know. It just seems like you should be able to think about that for, like, a couple seconds, you know? Like...
How does the United States, I mean, we've gone so off topic, but how does the United States look like under you? Sorry, what's your name?
My name is, my name's Connor. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Took a little bit of a doubt there.
Oh, well,
saying your name.
I use
Connor,
a pseudonym online,
fair enough,
but
Connor.
fair enough.
I use a pseudonym online because, frankly, a lot of people want to punch me in the face for, you know, believing the things I do and saying the things I say about how they have no place here because they're brown and I'm white. I have to go by a pseudonym online because otherwise, well, if I said the things that I say online in a bar, I might get killed. Ha ha.
How would Connor's America look? What would it look like?
Well, quite frankly, I think we would deport people who shouldn't be here.
No, I didn't ask about
whether-
deporting. What does the government look like?
What does the government look like?
Yeah.
I would say, quite frankly, it's under a sort of benevolent leader such as, you know,
Where does he
Franco.
come from?
It could.
Yes. Of course he's a fucking Francoist. It's exactly the Franco model. Sometimes these people are called phalangists, and they will talk about the need for, like, a Franco-like dictator. And keep in mind that Francisco Franco's entire thing was he believed in Catholicism. He wanted to restore, like, the royal family to rule in Spain. And he tried to do that after he died. Like, he gave the country over, and the royalty immediately converted Spain into a democracy. Which is honestly really fucking funny. Number one. And number two, like, Franco's Spain sucked. It was not a great
I also
time.
use a pseudonym online. Multiple pseudonyms. I have never once tripped over my own name in real life because of it.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that Nomi Sunrider isn't your real name? I'm shocked and chagrined at this duplicitousness. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, Nomi.
Be a kind of aristocratic class. Could be someone
No, but
who
who picks the order?
Yeah, he's. Yeah, I think we could, maybe have, like, some kind of a king and a queen And then we have I don't know, a certain class of people, dictated by bloodline, and that those bloodlines then rule as minor officials down the entire chain, and that way a family can just train their children to be in one specific social role, and it's in line with the Catholic Church. So understand, one of the things that it gets talked about a lot in these kind of fascist circles, and one of the reasons some of these people believe the things they do about how society should be structured, right? Crusader Kings 3 player detected. Absolutely true, Simric. They believe, right, that because in the kingdom of God, in Christianity, you have God, and then you have, angels, and you got, like, it's a hierarchy, right? They believe that that same hierarchy must then also be the best way to rule people and the best social structure. And so in their mind, the same way God is the head of the kingdom of heaven, so too men must be arranged into kingdoms of their own. And so it kind of then rolls into this divine right of kings mentality that has somehow, despite all odds, managed to survive into the modern day. And there is a religious belief in this type of governmental system. This is why you see so many like tradcath types gravitate towards this guy's very specific type of fascism, right? It's becoming divine right of billionaires. I mean, we're not far off. Like they're making their own churches around these AI contraptions. So, Hey.
Frankly, the people. I mean, we could hold a vote on it. Kings
so
were
isn't that democracy?
Well, sure. You can have a vote to get to that stage.
And then no more votes afterwards.
Absolutely.
Wow.
100.
Absolutely. You finally someone understands what I'm saying. I think democracy's okay for now, but we should really work to get rid of it, because people like me will be put into positions of power over people like you. At the end of the day, I'm just inherently superior.
100%.
Wow. And if that autocrat kills you and your family, you're fine with that?
Well, I'm not going to be a part of the group that he kills, because
that's so fucking convenient for you. Like, again, they never consider, wait, what happens if the person we give, supreme power to turns on us? As happens in an overwhelming number of cases. I want to tell you guys about a little thing called the Night of the Long Knives, okay? Where Hitler systematically purged his political opposition within the Nazi Party. Like, it's genuinely nuts. Omnipotent Jag, thank you, Sterling, for the $2 super chat. I wish there was a progressive Christian trans streamer, because it feels like there are no Christians who stream who rebut fascist heretical theology. I mean, like, I can rebut the theology, but the point is already rotten when we're talking about, like, this particular type of fascism, because they don't... these fascist types already reject the theology of, like, progressive Christians. Right? I can talk about the theology, I just choose not to, because I don't think it's all that relevant, other than to point out that, like, the belief that these people have in it is deep, and the fact that it is a belief makes it much harder to attack, because you can't just, like, show facts and evidence. because they believe this in spite of any facts or evidence. It is an irrational attachment that they have. The Tim and April Show is a progressive Christian podcast. Oh, okay. I don't care. But you know, like if anyone's interested, Tim and April Show, go check it out, I guess. But also, again, once you grant anyone, autocratic power, you don't have any check or balance on them. So, like, if they wake up the very next day and decide, hey, I'm going to go kill, half of my supporters to show them who's boss, you don't get to say no, actually, because you gave up the mechanism that would allow you to say no.
It's a whole thing.
How do you know?
Carl Schmitt
Autocrats tend to kill everyone,
Carl
even their own
Schmitt makes
supporters.
this point very well in his work. It's the friend-enemy distinction, right? You
Carl
liberals,
Schmitt, the Nazi theoretician.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't care.
Are you a fan of the Nazis?
Absolutely. I don't care. You're not my dad.
I frankly don't care being called a Nazi at all.
I didn't say that. I
Doesn't
didn't
matter
actually
to
say
me.
that. I said, are you a fan of the Nazis?
Well, they persecuted the church a little bit. I'm not a fan of that. But
what about the persecution of the Jews?
Well, I mean, I certainly don't
Oh boy.
support anyone's human dignity being assaulted. I'm a Catholic.
But I do support, an autocratic leader killing groups of people. But, that you can kill someone, I guess, without assaulting their human dignity. Jesus Christ.
Don't condemn Nazi persecution of the Jews.
I think that there was a little bit of persecution and stuff like that, which is bad. But
Holy fuck. There was a little bit of persecution of the Jews in Nazi Germany. My brother in Christ, a little? Just a tad? Again, when I talk about these people leaving their clan robes at home, I'm not really making a joke. These people are fascists. Okay? They are willing to just go on these shows and say this shit. Oh, I know, depraved ambiance. No worries.
Because you're a little bit more than a far-right Republican.
Hey, what can I say?
I mean, it's troubling that these people are among us in society. Well, I think one of the goals of pointing out this behavior and maligning it and shitting on these people, debunking their arguments, etc. I think one of the reasons we need to be more vocal about that going forward is specifically because these people are among us and they need to feel absolutely ashamed of their stances and essentially be bullied into fearing the outing of being like this. Like, I'm sorry, if you're this guy, you should not feel good or like you shouldn't feel good or like well liked for stating these types of things. Mask off in the light of God,
I think you could say I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am.
It's interesting to see who's clapping.
Absolutely.
I'm just checking who's clapping just to get my set of where everyone is on this. Because you know that millions of people are going to be watching you on YouTube and checking out who the fascists and the Nazis are.
I'm not ashamed of that whatsoever.
No, clearly you're not.
During the pre-war period, prior to World War II, it was only those parties that properly enacted the people's will. That's why they won. The conservatives were fat cats.
Are
They
you
were
in favor
aristocrats.
of,
They didn't care.
of killing people who aren't like you?
Quite frankly, I'm not.
You mentioned.
Quite frankly, I'm not. If
Franco earlier. Franco killed a lot of innocent people.
Oh, well, he killed communists. He killed people who raped nuns and killed priests.
What about children who he killed and women who he killed?
What are you talking about? He never killed any women or children.
my fave fascist dictator would never stoop to killing women and children. No, never. Never.
He was Catholic,
He only
dude.
killed combatants. Is that what you're claiming?
Yeah, he
now?
only killed combatants.
Never killed any innocent people.
The White Terror was only punishing those people who did acts of terrorism. And again, are you supporting like raping innocent women? Nuns, dude. Killing priests? I mean, priests don't brandish guns and kill people.
You just refuse to condemn the Nazi Holocaust, my friend. I don't think you're in a position to ask anyone any questions.
I quite frankly don't care what you think.
It's just. I know the video wasn't up. I understand. I was looking up a thing. God. Like I don't know, man. Like let me just. So there's a wall-sized painting by Pablo Picasso called Guernica. It's huge, and it depicts the bombing of the bombing by Nazi Germany on Guernica, which is a town in Spain, and the Nazis bombed Guernica in order to support Francisco Franco in 1937. The idea that, like, oh, well, you know, Francisco Franco would never kill children when he's asking Nazi Germany to bomb cities for him. Like, here is a photo of Guernica after the bombing, because we have those. Like, you telling me an entire town, entire city gets absolutely obliterated by the Nazi Air Force, and no women or children died in the making of this bombing campaign? Huh. Strange. Or maybe just stupid. Who can say? I'm going with stupid.
Think about me. If I'm a Nazi and being a Nazi
is mutual,
if
so
being a Nazi means upholding human dignity, because I even believe in your dignity. I don't in a state that
I love that this guy is like, I mean, I wouldn't categorically support mass slaughter of civilians if I, disagree with them. Like, he just, like, I can't believe it, man.
With the greatest of respect,
I wouldn't want to hurt you or anything like that, but quite frankly,
I don't debate fascists.
Okay. So do you concede then? I mean, why
do I concede you're a fascist who won't condemn the Nazis?
Yeah.
Yes, I concede that.
Okay, great. So I mean, what are we doing here? Because I mean, you just seem offended.
What you're doing here,
you just seem offended, to be quite frankly. Like,
I'm offended by people who.
I do like that Mehdi Hasan is essentially like, okay, we've ascertained that you're a fascist. We're done here. Because, like, Mehdi's like, okay, you are an out-and-out fascist. Discourse with you is pointless. Perhaps the only thing left for us is fisticuffs.
Can't condemn the Nazis. Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, I condemn the evils that they did, but I don't really care about being. Yeah, sure. I don't care about being called a Nazi. Sure. Is the whole thing.
I never called you a Nazi.
I care
you
about
called
doing
yourself
the right
a Nazi,
thing.
a fascist, and a General Franco supporter.
Well, yeah, I am a General Franco supporter. He was awesome. He was so super cool, quite frankly. Because the whole
thing. And you don't believe in democracy.
I don't believe in democracy.
What are you doing here at a televised debate? Because, this is democracy. Because, not a debate and disagreement.
Because it is the means to support an end. The reason we.
I do love the question, right? Like, why are you here if you don't even believe in the freedom of speech? If you don't even believe in that, or in, like, the mechanism of, people democratically coming to decisions on policy, like, what are you doing? You're trying to use like reason and debate to move people to an inherently unreasonable position. The idea that all power should be concentrated in one individual who's not accountable to anyone. Yeah, like I think it's basically good for him to sit back and just be like, what the fuck are you doing here, man? Like if you are the kind of person who is married to these ideals in a real sense, like not in just like you debate things on the internet to be like an edgelord or whatever, but like if you actually believe these things, then you shouldn't believe that you can democratically arrive at your like preferred destination of autocracy. You should be instead, I don't know, like you should be like should be gathering like cult members or something, you know? You should be working your way up the Catholic Church.
We have free speech now is because we want to be openly talking about our opinions so we can get the state that we want. But it doesn't mean upholding free speech after we win. Again, I mentioned
the only good thing about this fascist moment we're in is that you guys are so open about it.
The whole reason I mentioned I mentioned Carl Schmitt earlier, and you kind of blew past him, is the friend-enemy distinction. Even liberals, when they take power, they want to enact policies and they want to enact protections for their people and their ideas, and they're willing to punish their enemy. And so I'm the same way. I'm like, hey, if you're going to punish me.
I wish I had your mindset for this. A coworker said that he doesn't believe that Trump is in the Epstein files because the Dems, under Biden, didn't release the list, and I couldn't believe it, despite the letters, pictures, etc.
Oh man, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry, D. Like that sounds really difficult. Also, thank you for the $50 super chat. That is very, very kind of you. But I always just like, can people who genuinely believe that, I don't understand, right? Like, do you not just think like, oh, well, it's possible that they had material that could both be damaging to themselves as well as Donald Trump? Like, Epstein had a lot of clients from across the political spectrum. And it just seems to me that, like, shouldn't be that mysterious why Democrats wouldn't want that information to come out. Especially when we're looking at, like, people who were in positions of power, who are like Joe Biden, who's like an old guard Dem, you know? He wasn't ever going to do anything that besmirched, you know, Bill Clinton. And a lot of there's some implications around Bill Clinton with the Epstein stuff. That being said, it just seems to me like you could figure out why that wouldn't immediately be released to the public.
I'm going to get in power, and I'm going to frankly punish you when you try to leverage power against me. Just that simple.
Also, Mehdi is just so good at knowing when silence should be deployed, right? Like, that one slow blink is more damning and damaging than anything you could say to this type of man.
Just that simple.
I'm not sure what you want to say.
Hey, it is what it is.
All right. Pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
I can't say the same, but thank you.
You know, the thing about people like that, by the way, is that they view it as a win. When, like, Mehdi does shut down, like, that guy views it as like, oh, yes, he couldn't say anything because I won the debate. And, like, that's why a bunch of other people around that circle clap, because they're like, oh, yeah, that guy beat Mehdi Hasan in a debate. And like, that's not at all the dynamic that took place there, you know? And I just wonder. I wonder, they were incapable of even conceiving of the level of contempt normal people have for the fascist position. Good night, Alan Smith.
Good to meet you, man.
Good to meet you, sir. All right, so I kind of
dude is gloating about his performance on X. That doesn't surprise me one bit. I mean, to be that level of fascist, you really have to be a dumb clod. And his inability to actually, like, read how his psychotic ideas come across, that doesn't surprise me.
I want to start at the basics or the foundation. I want to see.
Can I just check?
Yes.
Are you a fascist?
No.
Okay.
I don't. I describe myself as, I think, just a Christian.
Fair enough.
I'm a devout Christian.
Good to hear.
So
I was waiting for a paleo conservative. I was waiting for the sly paleo conservative label.
I want to start, like, what is your connection to the Constitution, and why do you love it so much? Like, what makes it so important that Trump would defy something like the Constitution to you personally?
Great questions. My first connection is I'm an American citizen. I naturalized American citizen, took a pledge to this country, to the Constitution.
Oh God, you know, this guy does give off big youth pastor energy. He's giving off massive youth pastor energy.
As a previous speaker has said, Constitution's not perfect. A lot of things I don't like about it. I don't like the Second Amendment. There's a various.
Is he wearing a
like
Lego piece on his head?
I'm sure there's things you don't like about the Constitution. The difference is, I don't think you can just illegally defy the Constitution. I think each and every one of us can just make up whatever we want. Certainly presidents who are elected with an oath, right? Donald Trump took an oath to preserve, protect, defend the Constitution. And now when he's asked on television, isn't it your job to uphold the Constitution?
Hey, Mr. Fluffy Wolf, welcome to your first Riverboat Jack stream. Nice to have you here.
He said on NBC, I don't know, which goes against his oath. And I'm identifying specific amendments where he is violating. He's only 6 months into his presidency, defying the First Amendment.
Wait, are there any liberation theology youth pastors? I'm sure there are. Just not the majority.
Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment. He wants to defy the 22nd Amendment and be president for a third term. This is the problem we have right now. Free speech is under assault. The free press is under assault. Due process is under assault. The right to be in your home and not...
Honestly, for Lawrence 79, I do think that to normal people, the growth and attempted normalization of these people comes across as freakish. I think that Mehdi Hasan coming on here and getting like liberal wine mom eyes onto this, I think that this is what radicalizes people in the normie sphere. I think this has the potential, let me put it that way, to radicalize people in the normie sphere into being more willing to go to their, you know, their indivisible meetings, their local Dem meetings, their DSA meetings, their Working Families Party meetings, their protests, their you know, Tesla takedown stuff. I think it can mobilize these people, and generally I don't think that this message of these fascists, when being pitted against Mehdi Hasan, I think he's good enough at this to defang a lot of these arguments. And that I don't think that's true of every guest that's on Jubilee, but I do want to say that the reason I tend to talk about this or like Sam going on Jubilee is because I think they have the potential to actually have a positive impact. But I think that that's something that is very difficult to do in this type of environment with these types of guests.
Be invaded by federal agents. The Fourth Amendment is under assault. So that for me is a problem.
Okay. Well, I'd like to start to say I really don't find the Constitution that important. I find it to be like a 300-year-old document. And
that is already such an interesting stance to have when your main political affiliation is Christian. Like oh man, it's just a 300-year-old document. Is such a weird thing to say when it's just a 2,000-year-old document. You know? I don't know. Come on, man.
It was created to defy the country that subjugated your ancestors in India, and then your parents probably moved from India to Britain, and then you move here to tell us that we should listen to a piece of paper that you were never even connected to begin with. So I want to
say, you were never. He's an American citizen. The second he came here, he was connected to it. What are you talking about? You fucking dumb ass.
Say, like, if I don't care about it, why do you care about it so much?
Also, maybe it's the haircut, but his head just looks really flat.
How do you run a country without any kind of laws or due process? And by the way, you do care about it, because without the First Amendment, you wouldn't be sitting here.
Well, I agree with the First Amendment, and I think.
So do you agree with Donald Trump's crackdown on the First Amendment? He's imprisoning people for their speech. He's threatening free speech media organizations. He's threatening peaceable assembly. These are all rights under the First Amendment. Why aren't you bothered by that as a conservative who claims to love the First Amendment?
So I don't like the First Amendment. I like free speech.
Okay, so the First Amendment is what guarantees free speech. I'm from the UK, by the way. I'm from the UK, which is a democracy. We don't have the First Amendment. No, that's one of the things I do like about the Constitution. I wish the UK did have a First Amendment.
So people
I'm a
get
journalist.
arrested for praying outside abortion clinics and stuff like that, right?
So you're opposed to people being arrested for speech crimes, I assume.
Well, it depends what it is. If it's like the people.
So you're like one of the previous speakers. As long as there's someone who agrees with you, you don't mind the crackdown.
No. I support.
Either we consistently support principles or we
free
don't.
Speech 100%.
Okay.
I don't think anyone.
So do you think Donald Trump is defying the Constitution by cracking down on the First Amendment?
So I think he's cracking down on free speech, like the deportation of Mahmoud Khalil, who was
just released from prison by a judge, saying his First Amendment rights were violated.
And I agree with the judge, and I disagree with Trump deporting them. But I think that's more a matter of free speech and not the
Holy shit! This guy is just like, it has like a bare minimum human reaction of like, yeah, I do disagree with, jailing someone for something that they said. And like half of those flags go up instantaneously. Half of the flags go up the second he tries to criticize Donald Trump. No one can say no to Daddy.
Constitution.
I think that's pedantry at this moment. I think you've conceded that he is cracking down on free speech, which is the First Amendment. So he is defying the Constitution. So it's a pleasure to be in agreement with you, sir.
All right, pause. You've been voted out by the majority.
Damn.
Please return to
Thank
your
you very
seat.
much.
Oh, that guy keeps being denied. Oh, the pain he must feel. Also, can we just take a moment here? Can we just take a moment and look at this setup? You're so fucked for trying to get to the chair. If you're posted up on the left side, you're fucked. You have to go around Mehdi Hasan to get to the chair. Like you're not getting there. You're done. Why even be there?
How's it, sir?
I'm Mehdi.
Mehdi, great to meet you. My name is Kai. Do you, Mehdi?
Also, can we all agree that this show should have them Mehdi Hasan sitting at a table on the opposite end of a football field? And the people who want to debate should have to run the entire length of the football field to get to the chair. I want increasing challenges to get to the chair. They have to run there every single time. You got people playing mind games. I'm gonna run third after everyone is already tired. You got an American Ninja Warrior obstacle course to get there. Come on. These people all believe in aesthetics, okay? Time for you guys to start shimmying through the American Ninja Warrior course in order to debate Mehdi Hasan. All right? That's what we get Takeshi's Castle style. God, my 7th grade class had a better debate system. I mean, if you're gonna even have the dopey, physicality of the challenge anyway, why stop here? Yeah, look, Mehdi Hasan is dangling from a platform. You have to climb the rope, the rope course to be the first one there. There's no safety equipment. If you fall, you will break your neck. So you either live or you die, to debate Mehdi Hasan. Oh, God.
Believe that the Constitution is important and good.
Or like have them, like, I don't know, debate over like a slime tank, and when Mehdi Hasan, when they get voted out, they get like dunked in the slime. You know, like why stop where we are with the bare bones element of of the debating platform? If you're already gonna add like the weird game to it, just keep adding to it. Jack, you need to be put in charge of Jubilee immediately. No, I would destroy Jubilee.
Overall, yes.
Do you believe that
Which maybe is an argument to be in charge of Jubilee. Put me in charge of Jubilee, coach.
Constitution can be eroded through democratic processes?
What do you mean by erode?
The original intention of the Constitution being destroyed through a purely, democratic or legal process.
I'm not sure I agree with that.
Okay.
I think if you're democratically amending the Constitution per the rules of the Constitution, that's fine. If we could find a constitutional way to get rid of the Second Amendment, I'd be pro that.
So let's pose a hypothetical wherein the entire population of the United States has drastically changed.
Yes.
And the population now has completely different intentions about what to do with the country. Let's say it wants to give it all back to
Can I just say, this guy looks like the grown-up version of one of the children from Home Improvement. And I don't know how I feel about that. But also, this is the least surprising outcome for those kids.
Mexico, dismantling the United States of America. If that's the case, then what's the use of the Constitution? It hasn't defended the country. In fact, it's allowed for its destruction.
I don't understand the premise. How did the whole country change?
Demographic replacement, mass migration. I mean, we're seeing a change in demographics, and there's
what is the?
Oh my God!
I do want to talk about immigration today.
Oh, this is the guy with the piss shoes. He has the piss shoes, guys. This is the piss shoes, man.
Everyone's itching in this group to get to immigration.
Yes, sir.
I've saved it. I've saved it for you all. But given we're on the sense of the Constitution, and you asked the question, what is the proportion of immigrants in this country?
God, country, family? Hell yeah, brother.
What proportion of the population is foreign-born?
It's very difficult to measure because the actual projections of the number have been changing more rapidly.
But what is currently?
Again, there's no way to talk about like demographics in the way that conservatives do without coming across like a complete and utter fucking weirdo. You know, like if you're talking about like, oh yeah, I'm really concerned about, the population replacement rate, or like I'm really concerned about the rate of white births in the country. I'm sorry, there's no way to talk about that without coming across to a normal person as a fucking freak. There's no way to do it. Science just doesn't allow for it.
The best estimate of official estimate.
I think it was about 15%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just under 15%.
Which is, by the way, more actually than the original estimate was. So
but
we have
15% of
you have to explain the piss shoes business. Just that earlier in the stream, I noticed that this guy who's here. Let's see.
People are going to change the country, change the Constitution. How's that going? It's actually a nightmare.
Usually, this guy is sitting right here, so his shoes have been prominently featured right underneath this table. And they are piss colored.
For context, I live in Texas and work with a conspiracy theorist, Christians, who say Christianity isn't a religion because salvation doesn't depend on works, where others do. And people who loves to get your goat. I grew up Catholic for context.
Oh, that is fascinating. D, thank you for the $50 super chat. Very much appreciated. Thank you for supporting the show. But also, I have never heard the argument that Christianity isn't a religion because of faith alone salvation. I haven't heard that, but I imagine that would come out of some like evangelical or like Baptist roots in the South. I imagine you'd kind of encounter that idea more prominently down there. That's fascinating. I do love picking people's brains on like their different religious beliefs especially when it comes to like Christianity. Like, having grown up in the church and at one point been like real fanatical about it, I do have a lingering fascination with Christianity in particular, and different conceptions of it and its role in our political, our socio-political environment. Let's see. Faith without worms is dead. I agree. All faith needs worms. That sounded that went harder than I intended it to. Okay, never mind. Let's keep going. Hey, Zoe Vexed.
Someone who wants to amend the Constitution and get rid of things like...
Well, no, but yeah, Zoe Vexed. These people are, for all intents and purposes, pod people. None of them have actual skin in the game because none of them actually live under the fascist dictatorship that they desire, you know? Like, they all think, yes, this would be good and just because I imagine it would be good and just. You know, we'll get the exact right person in charge and then everything will be hunky-dory. Everything will instantly improve from where it is now. And, like, they live deluded in their own little bubbles where they all just circle jerk and agree with each other about how that absolutely is the case. You know, they are not, in a sense, they are not of the world. Like, they don't actually go out and test their beliefs or ideologies. They have to build, like, these pods to exist in. Where, like, oh yes, I only read the Daily Stormer because, like, they just create an ecosystem in which all they do is consume, you know, white nationalist propaganda or fascist propaganda. Like, all they do is consume it, and then they're like, yes, all crime is done by black people because, you know, the only crime stories I've ever read recently over the last 5 years are from the Daily Stormer. And, like, they don't go out and they test anything. They have the softest
But
hands, the
leopards won't eat
softest
their
minds.
faces. Can we get a click butt song?
I don't have it on. Again, when I'm in this location, I don't have my soundboard. One-eyed heathen. I'm sorry. Thank you for the $5 super chat, though. It is always the leopards won't eat their face. It's especially funny since my sister-in-law went to Catholic school, which apparently taught that the Bible isn't a science book. Isn't a science book. Well, that's you know, good for that Catholic school.
The ridiculous way the Senate is set up, or the Second Amendment on guns, or various other things. It's really hard to change the Constitution. They made it almost impossible. You know, the last time we had a constitutional amendment?
You know
like
what?
20, 30 years ago.
I understand, which
and
is
it was
why
all, I think, members of Congress pay.
Which is
like,
why...
it's impossible.
I get it.
So where are you getting this scenario where 350-odd million people all become foreign-born migrants or the children of migrants, immediate migrants, even though America is a nation of migrants?
Yeah.
And then abandons the Constitution and gives the country back to Mexico. Outside of your imagination, where is that happening?
Let's bring it back to the actual discussion. What you did is you entertained my hypothetical, but then instead of sticking to the point of the Constitution, you said, well, how would you bring about your hypothetical? And then when
because you missed out the part where the Constitution is quite hard to change.
Hold on. I understand that. I gave you.
I also wanted to get a sense of where you are, and you're a great replacement guy. So that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, and you're a real good journalist because you don't talk to people who identify as like a political ideology. I mean, that's a very liberal.
What? He's talked to everyone here. You can't say like he doesn't talk to people who identify their political ideology. Like he's talked to everyone here. Talking with someone doesn't mean like entertaining their ideas ad nauseum.
I don't debate fascists. I'll talk to them, but I won't debate them.
Frankly, that's upsetting. I think there's a big problem when, you know, we value freedom of speech so much, but any, you know, real journalist is not going to talk to somebody because they identify with the politically incorrect idea.
This guy looks like he's one bad day away from having like a cocaine bender that would then be turned into a film at some point. Do you know what I mean? Like, this guy looks... He's got, like, the Patrick Bateman energy, but it's also, like, something else. And I don't know quite what it is. But, like... Maybe it's the Patrick Bateman plus... like, sociopath Val Kilmer energy he's giving off. Yeah, it's the eyebrow. I don't know. Dude, I think this guy, when he first came on screen, came across like he can cosplay as, like, a normal member of society. But the second any of his bullshit is pushed back on, he starts to unravel his sanity, you know? And it's a tenuous grip.
Just talk to the guy in front of you. What are you talking about?
You literally stopped talking to him, and then everybody had to vote him out.
Debating versus talking is very different.
Okay.
It's pointless, right?
Okay,
he doesn't believe in free speech. Okay. He doesn't believe in democracy.
He was freely speaking with you. You're the one who shut up.
No, he said it very clearly.
Okay,
he said, I support free speech so that I can get one election. After one election, my guy comes in, and after my guy comes in, nobody gets to speak or vote again.
We all listen to your
Why would I debate that?
We listen to your conversation. Let's
bring
it back to this topic. Let's bring it back to the Constitution.
Yeah, I mean, someone can just be wrong. Like, you just have a fundamental disconnect with someone, and if they're there to debate that idea and you fundamentally disagree on, like, a bedrock premise, like, then that's it, you know?
Please do. First, fourth, fifth, 14th Amendments. Those are the ones I'm saying Trump is defying. Do you support that or do you deny them?
I believe that the Constitution is valuable because it represents particular interests of the founding stock of Americans who made this country great.
Do you think due process is important? Some would say that's at the very core of American Constitution.
And
Fifth Amendment.
And what I think makes the Constitution...
Rhyme Jack, when you say he looks like an SMT law character option, does the SMT... And I know that the answer is probably no, but I'm guessing you don't mean Shin Megami Tensei character. So I'm not entirely sure what the SMT stands for, because that couldn't possibly be right.
Function. What allows it to save this country and to actually...
You do? Okay, cool. That's awesome. I'm glad. I do like Shin Megami Tensei.
Make it work are the people who are...
I'm not sure where you're going with this argument.
Hold on. I'll show you.
Is Trump defying the Constitution? That's my claim. You can have these weird hypotheticals
We're taking it into a different...
I do love that this community has some nerds in it where I can be like, do you actually mean Shin Megami Tensei? And you're just like, yes. And then we can both be like, fuck yeah, Shin Megami Tensei.
Matter, which is what's the function of the Constitution?
I'd rather not have your...
You already did. Yeah,
but now I
just
don't
5 minutes ago when you took it to immigration.
Now I don't want to.
Okay, let's bring it back.
I want to bring it back to the First, the Fourth, the Fifth, and the 14th Amendments, and the 22nd Amendments.
Look, this guy is being awfully confident for a man who's wearing piss shoes.
You say, hold on, you got two very good positions here. One is to say, I don't think he's defying them, and I'll say why you're wrong. Or you say, I don't care that he's defying them, as one of your colleagues said, in which case, I don't know where this conversation goes because you don't believe in democracy.
That's fair. Do you think it's wrong to dismantle the Constitution?
So there's two options ahead of you. Do you agree?
This is important.
Do you agree?
What I'm doing
is Donald Trump... Okay, let me ask a question back since you're asking me questions. You're not answering the basic point. Well, do you think Donald Trump is dismantling the Constitution? Can we agree that Donald...
Whoa. I didn't come in here to debate whether or not Donald Trump was defying the Constitution. I know you were asking about that, but I did not come here ready to debate your points.
Trump is dismantling, because I'll agree with you on that. I think he is dismantling the Constitution.
I think he's
illegally, unconstitutionally.
I think he's interpreting it in ways that are more...
Which judges do not agree with him on.
Okay,
Which the Supreme Court has not agreed with him on.
And the judges don't agree with the people who wrote the Constitution.
How do you know that?
Okay, let's take...
Okay, let's take one of Elon Musk's Neuralink chips. We head out to a couple graveyards on the East Coast, okay? We dig up a few well-placed corpses, all right? We insert the Neuralink into the decayed sludge, and then we bring it, of course, to CERN. Okay, and using the manipulative abilities of the Hadron Collider, we will in fact reverse time on enough of a quantum level, on such a scale that we revivify the brain of one of these individuals, and we keep doing that until we find the one that we can Neuralink to George Washington. That's right. It's a simple plan. There's no place it could fail. That's the plan. That's how we figure out what they intended. Boom. Nailed it.
Your example of the Second Amendment. Let's say that a bunch of
I didn't
judges...
give the Second Amendment.
No,
I said
hold
first,
on.
Fourth. You don't want to talk about the ones I've given.
You're interrupting me. You're
interrupting me. You're ignoring me. First, Fourth, Fifth, 14th, 22nd Amendments. Those are my amendments.
I'm 100% invested in Mecca, Washington. Man, we really need to do a playthrough of Bioshock Infinite, don't we?
Amendments that I came with today. If you don't want to debate them, just say so.
I'm trying to understand your
Just say
ideology.
so.
You believe that dismantling the Constitution is okay when it's about parts of the Constitution that you disagree with.
Amendments.
You would be fine getting rid of the Second Amendment, even though that would be a dismantling of the Constitution.
No, because it would be done via constitutional means. I'm not the one sitting here like your pal.
Okay, you have agreed. You have agreed the Constitution.
I'm not the one saying you just get rid of them willy-nilly. I don't agree.
We're ramping up.
I don't agree that Joe Biden...
I love that this guy seems to think that, like, Mehdi Hasan is debating about changing the Constitution, when Mehdi is just like, no, I think you can change it via the processes laid out to change it. And this guy's like, yeah, so why are you talking about, you think is changing it destroying it? And he's like, no. But this guy can't even answer the fundamental premise of this entire section.
Should come in and say by executive order, if Joe Biden put out executive order saying Second Amendment no longer applies, I can round up everyone's guns. I don't agree with that.
Your result is exactly
I don't
the
agree
same.
with them. No, but I don't agree with the method of doing it. It's unconstitutional.
That's fine.
He would have been defying the Constitution, and I would have said so, but you can't bring yourself to say so. We've been sitting here for several minutes. All of your friends have seen me ask you several times, do you agree that Donald Trump is defying the First, Fourth, Fifth, 14th, and possibly 22nd Amendments? Your colleague at least admitted that he's defying the First Amendment.
I understand that you came in here. What you are attempting to do...
I really just want Mehdi Hasan to ask him what this man thinks an amendment is. Like, what does it mean? Hey, chat, what does it mean to amend a document? What does that mean? Anyone? Bueller? When I heard Mecca, Washington, I thought of the scene from Fallout 3 with Liberty Prime. I love the giant freedom robot. Everyone loves Liberty Prime. Can we please stop pausing on that scary man's smile? No. No, because I'm training all of you on the exact reason you need to cover your glass when you go out to party, okay? Amend means to change. Thank you. Yes, that is in fact what it means. It means you are changing the document. You are mending it, even.
Is simply frame this conversation like you did with the first claim about Donald Trump. But then when anybody asks you any kind of question that presses you to the least degree
I answered. I said I would dismantle the Constitution, but I would do it constitutionally, not by executive order.
So what I'm trying to get to is to prove to everybody who's watching that what you care about is not the Constitution in what it represents or creates. You care about the Constitution only insofar as it allows you to achieve your political worldview. We agree on that.
No, I care about the Constitution.
I mean, I think that the Constitution of the United States was designed to protect and preserve a political worldview. Like the fundamental building blocks of our democracy, you know? Like, that's what it was designed to do. That's a political ideology. It's a political statement. It's a political document.
You agree with the because I don't think presidents should be fascist dictators and violate the Constitution. That's what I'm saying.
You care,
and he is different. I don't think the president should have the power to lock you and me up if we write an op-ed that he doesn't like. I don't think the president should be able to crack down on us if you and I could decide.
Cool. So you agree with the fundamental premise. Why is this man wearing a Burger King shirt?
to go protest
I agree with
outside his parade.
I agree with you.
don't think the president should be able to deprive you and I of due process or come into our home.
It looks like an AI Burger King shirt. It does, but like, why?
Without a warrant.
And I think,
well, let's end an agreement then.
All right, pause. You've been voted out.
I'm glad
It's
we
good
end
to
on
meet
agreement.
you. It's good to meet
you, Kai. Hey, how are you? I'm Mehdi.
Hi, I'm Jessica.
Nice to meet you.
How are you? So Trump is defying the 1st, 4th,
5th, and 14th, and maybe the 22nd soon.
Okay. So I want to focus on the 1st
Okay.
and the 5th.
Okay.
I love whenever they begin introducing themselves, right? I love when they introduce themselves because there's like a moment where most of them try to present themselves as like normal, functional people. And like I feel like if you're a trained media operative like Mehdi Hasan, right? You can just rip that veneer off like almost instantly. And honestly, there's something satisfying about the mask, like any kind of pretense falling away. Some of these people like pre-unmask, but I think like in a case like this, there's a little bit of mask pulling to happen here. Wait, oh, Chief. Yeah, the Burger King shirt. That might be an AI version of like that lady who called the black kid an N-word. I think you might be right. Oh fuck. The vibes are so foul. The vibes are so foul. Shit, dog. That is 100% what it is.
So you say that Trump is defying the First Amendment. Can you give me an example?
For example, he banned the Associated Press from attending White House events. A Trump-appointed judge said that was against the First Amendment. He's been cracking down on media organizations he doesn't.
Last tangent before bed, but have you heard of the book Did Adam and Eve Have Belly Buttons? It was supposed to be filled with answers about biblical questions. Have a good rest of stream.
D, thank you for the $10 super chat. Very, very much appreciated. And I have heard of that. I have heard of that book. I've also, like, I've seen a fair few number of, like, creationist nature documentaries that are fascinating. Maybe I can, like, find an archive of those someplace, because those are always wild as hell. Yeah. Jesus. Thank you so much for supporting stream. Very much appreciated. Thank you for helping to make this show possible.
Like over their speech, if they say stuff he doesn't like, for example,
Cracking down how?
So, for example, he banned the Associated Press from attending White House events because they
can't go
said
to the White House
it's
either.
the Gulf of Mexico. That's not how it works. They were already at the White House. He deprived them of access, so he punished them for their speech.
But are they allowed to go to the press?
Which is why a judge he appointed, Trevor McFadden, said this was contrary to the First Amendment. A Trump-appointed judge. He's called MSNBC and CNN illegal. Media organizations are not ipso facto
But that's free speech.
illegal.
He can call them whatever they want.
Attacking the media?
Yeah, he can
by the
attack
president as the executive?
Yeah, he can
And-
say whatever he wants. That's literally the First Amendment.
He can say whatever he wants.
Absolutely.
But the media can't say what they want.
They do.
But he's going after them. He's suing them. He's using lawsuits to crack down on the press.
They
Presidents
used
have not done that
lawsuits
before.
to give him 34 felonies that Hillary Clinton did.
No media gave him a lawsuit.
No, but people
Oh, we're
on the
talking about
Democratic
media.
side.
We don't talk about the Democrats.
Okay.
Oh man, she's already so far afield.
So he can call them whatever he wants because that's the freedom of speech.
He's threatened to imprison reporters.
He absolutely.
He wants to imprison. He said reporters should go to prison for reporting. He threatened some of them with prison rape. Right? That is against the First Amendment.
Okay. How is that against the First Amendment?
You don't think?
If I want to advocate for prison rape, how is that against the First Amendment? If I think rapes should be done in prison, how is that contrary to the Constitution? Like, see what I mean? Like, they've been talking for all of like, I don't know, for all of like a minute, maybe less, and like she's already saying something absolutely fucking bananas.
sending reporters to prison for
Is he
reporting that he
sending
doesn't
them?
like.
Did he do that?
He wanted to. He said so.
Okay,
I would like them to go.
I would really like to.
So
fly.
other people stopped him doesn't mean he's not defying the Constitution.
So
he
can
also
want,
said if you turn up,
excuse me,
please.
he can want to do something.
Yes.
That doesn't mean he will or he can.
Okay.
And I think he's very.
Well, I've already
aware
given
of
an
that.
example of something he did do to the Associated Press, but okay.
Yeah, okay, so the Associated Press is allowed in the Oval Office, which is his office, that's his executive space.
Okay.
And they are allowed in the press room, just like CNN, just like The Guardian.
Which he thinks are illegal media organizations.
He can think whatever he
calls
wants.
the media the enemies of the people.
You called him a fascist.
Yeah.
you can say whatever you want.
Yes.
Yes.
But the
and
president is. I'm not the president of the United States with executive power to crack down on the media.
The First Amendment only applies to the citizens, but not the president.
I never
of the
said that.
United States.
In fact, Donald Trump runs his mouth more than anyone.
Absolutely, he does.
And he doesn't just say stuff. As I said, he actually does stuff.
Lady is speaking like she's fucking possessed. Like the vibes from every single one of these people rancid as hell.
He actually does crack down. For example, you Fifth Amendment.
Yes.
Due process.
Yes.
Judges have actually said you have violated due process.
Yes, except for
people on trial.
people kind of forget the.
I love that, like, Mehdi Hasan is just like, here are like 5 court cases where this has happened recently, and she's like, yes, but have you considered my moon logic? Did you consider the moon and all of its machinations? I bet you didn't, you simpleton. Like, it's nuts.
Clinton, the 1996 Immigration Reform Act, where you can get limited due process when you have expedited.
American citizens?
No.
What about American citizens?
Who's getting deported? That's American.
2 American children have been deported multiple this year. Have you not been?
No. Their parents have been deported, and their parents say,
No, the
I'm
father
gonna
was
take
American.
my baby.
No.
Was mom legal?
We don't know because they didn't go to court, and the judge.
They
by
don't
the way,
have to go to
by the-
court.
yes.
That's not a part of the due process.
Are you a lawyer?
I'm very aware of it.
Are you a lawyer?
Do
I'm something of a lawyer myself. Just are you a lawyer? I'm aware of the concept of the law. Holy fuck. Due process isn't a part of that. Finding out facts, presenting them before a jury of your peers or a judge. No, they aren't entitled to that.
have to be? We're making an argument.
Are you a lawyer? It's a simple question.
No.
Are you a lawyer?
Okay, we're making an argument.
I'll take that as a no.
You can just say no, I'm not a lawyer. You can in fact just say no, I'm not. Like, what is stopping you? Did this woman like have an intense attempt to try and pass the bar association in her state and like failed like 6 times? Like, has she built up resentment for the legal profession and she can't bring herself to say that she's not a lawyer? Like, damn. You know, it's actually a really easy thing to do. Hey guys, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm not a lawyer. It's really easy to say that you're not a lawyer, actually. A lot of people are saying this.
A Trump-appointed judge in the case, not some Marxist lefty judge, as you people like to call them, a Trump-appointed conservative judge said it is illegal and unconstitutional to expel or deport an American citizen without meaningful process. He said that in April. So that was an act that Trump did. It wasn't speech. He got rid of an American citizen from the country without process.
So
that's the Fifth Amendment violation.
Since I'm not up to date on that specific
I can give you
case,
more.
I'm sure you can. So
Well, you weren't aware that American citizens are being deported. It's a pretty big story.
Yeah, the
Maybe if
child
you
that
read the
probably
fake
went
news,
with
you might
their
know.
mom. What?
If you read
The child that probably went with their mom, that probably is doing a lot of work there, bucko.
Fake news, you might know what's going on. A lot of American
how would I
citizens
know what's
have
going
been
on if I
deported.
read fake news? I don't watch CNN or Rachel Maddow.
That's,
Sorry.
That's why you don't know that your fellow citizens have been deported this year.
My fellow citizens.
Are they
no.
not? American citizens haven't been deported?
Okay. When a child goes with their
All right,
adult-
guys, that's time. Please return to your
Nice to
seat.
meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hey,
Before we go any further, we wanted to...
No, I'm good. I'm good. Was that the yeah. All right. That, folks, was part 2. We're done. That lady is of the devil. And I grew up in the Christian church, so I can say that. I got I might have fallen out with the church, but I still got my devil senses. That being said, absolutely fascinating. I do like seeing Mehdi Hasan dismantle these people. They are bad, and I like seeing them shamed publicly for their actions. And I hope that as more and more people see this, others will also shame them for their, words and deeds. She definitely subscribes to spirit science. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what her deal might be, and I genuinely have no idea. I would have never had the stamina to watch this without your commentary. Well, first of all, thank you. 2, hey everybody, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And 3, this is just part 2 of 4, actually, folks. So there's gonna be a whole lot more of this. And I hope you're enjoying my my added commentary here, because we've so far covered about we've done 2 segments, right? It's taken us 3 hours to get through those 2 segments. So we're kind of cooking here. We're kind of doing some cooking. So anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. Do the things that help the channel. You fools, fly, you fools. I don't know why I said that. It's very late. I'm sleepy. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Let's see here. I should probably click this button over here. So, folks, it's been 3 hours together, and hey, if you haven't, click the follow button, click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the buttons that help the show, the channel, me. Please click them. I don't know if you need to click them or not, but it would really help me out if you clicked those goddamn buttons. And also, please consider dropping those subs, donos, memberships, super chats, etc., because you guys make this show possible. I'm not able to do this show without your support. So whenever you are dropping subs, memberships, donos, whatever, all of that is what allows me to do what I do. It's what allows me to put in the time to prep this show, as best as I can. And when am I on next? Poco Curante. I'll be on later tonight, probably in about 16 hours. Probably in about 16 hours. Around 8 p.m. Central Time. That's usually when I try to start. I'm in the middle of moving, so start time may vary. But, bare minimum, we're going to have like a 3-hour long stream. Sometimes we go up to 6, 7, 8. The frustrating part of all of this is just for a decade we've been told we were the boy who cried wolf for calling conservatives fascists, and now here they are literally saying it out loud, and people still don't believe it, even when they say it about themselves. Yep. It is... I don't know. It's... I don't enjoy the times we're living in. I gotta be honest with you. It's not fun to put up with all this shit. Ay. Every time you do this, it triggers my Pavlovian response to find a new video. I'm sorry, Sir Borkington. You're amazing. Thank you. I did also dress up in latex for an event yesterday, and I think I looked very good. I cleaned up pretty nice. Saw those pics? Hell yeah, Gibbertus Maximus. I cleaned up all right? Yeah, very nice. Yeah? Thumbs up, Archangel? Really like the outfit. Thank you, Ditzy Gingy. What Steam Deck games did you play while there? I played the Steam game that I played while I was there was, oh god, what's it called? I tried to play Scald against the Black Priory, but it didn't work so hot on Steam Deck. But I played a lot of A Monsters Expedition, and it was really, really nice. Just like a cute little puzzle game, really chill, really fucking chill. And that was just what I needed when I needed a break from like the dance floor. Yeah, no problem, Distron. I had just watched the Jubilee and then saw you watching it, so I watched a few of the special people. Really enjoyed your takes on the fascist clown show. It really is a clown show, right? And I think it is good to make these people out as clowns. I think it is good to make them look silly and ridiculous and, like, impotent. I think that that is a net positive for society. Also, thanks for watching, Rory O'Toole. All right, folks. I am, however, going to call it a night because I'm sleepy. And I have so much shit to do over the next few days. It's ridiculous. Getting my hair done on Tuesday, though. So get ready for me to be the reddest redhead whoever redheaded on Tuesday. Thank you. You can call me Jess. Let's see. Let me play myself out here. Good night, everyone. I will see you all tomorrow. And if you got any of those subs or donos last minute, please consider dropping them. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.
Swishy streams, all that content is bursting the seams. Politics, daily, flame more. Your sense of fashion, you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord. Viva Bojack, 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 Viva Bojack. That's what I'm talking about. First time singing the songs from Viva Bojack. Shout out. I don't know what I'm doing really, but I got passion. That's what it's about. It's all about passion. Swishy streams, all that content is bursting the seams. Politics, gaming, and plenty more. Your sense of fashion, you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord. Viva Jack, Viva